Court has now finally issued its ruling on the presidential immunity case involving former President Donald Trump. Fox Business Network's Lydia Hu has the details.
It is a divided Supreme Court that tells us presidents and former presidents are entitled to limited immunity for their official actions while held in office. This opinion was authored by Chief Justice John Roberts and joined by the conservative justices, the 3 liberal justices dissenting. The majority opinion written by John Roberts says this: the president, therefore, may not be prosecuted for exercising his core constitutional powers, and going on to say he is at a minimum entitled to a presumptive immunity from prosecution for all his official acts.
This ruling extends the delay in the criminal case against former President Trump, claiming he plotted to overthrow the results of the 2020 presidential election. Trump attorney Alina Habba had some reaction on the Fox News channel about this ruling.
I've read little parts of it. Here's what I think. I think that the justices made the right decision. Nixon v. Fitzgerald outlined this. Absolute immunity is important for all presidents. I've said it time and time again. I've argued on immunity for President Trump, and I think they did get right that they recognize absolute immunity exists.
The former president telling Fox News Digital this is a big win for our Constitution and for democracy. We're also hearing from the Biden campaign. A senior Biden campaign advisor telling Fox, and I quote, "Today's ruling doesn't change the facts, so let's be very clear about what happened on January 6th. Donald Trump snapped after he lost the 2020 election and encouraged a mob to overthrow the results of a free and fair election." And watching Hurricane Beryl making landfall as a powerful Category 4 storm in the Caribbean after becoming the earliest storm of that strength to form in the Atlantic, fueled by record warm waters. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Could be a rainy holiday. Mostly sunny and 73 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. Radar's clear, low of 59 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:02. There's a chance for some severe storms this Wednesday.
So once we get into that pattern of more thunderstorms Wednesday and even through the end of the weekend and into the weekend time frame, just to watch out for the potential for lightning. It's always a problem, the combination of people being outside and lightning.
Randy Bowers at the National Weather Service doesn't expect the 4th of July to be completely rained out. He does expect the worst of any storms, though, to show up Wednesday. A repair business in Indianapolis will have to worry about some repairs of its own. Ryan Hedrick reports on a Sunday fire.
Fire crews got to the scene along Columbia Avenue Sunday around 7 o'clock to find a garage that was burning. Its roof partially collapsed.
If it had lasted much longer, we would have asked the residents to either shelter in place or we would have evacuated them depending upon the level of the smoke and the type of the smoke.
IFD Chief Rodney Poole says one of his men was hurt fighting the fire. 8 cars that were purchased from an auction were destroyed, but there's no word on a cause. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Someone was shot and killed in the southeast side this morning near East Minnesota and South Keystone Avenue.
We have emotions. We get upset. We all lose our temper sometimes. It's controlling that. We have to do better at why do we resort to a gun? It takes a life in an instant.
IMPD officer Tommy Thompson. The victim was found sitting in a car. Police have not arrested anyone yet. And this might have you thinking twice if you're one to break the law. Sam Fritz reports Indiana likes a longer prison sentence.
A study looking at federal data from the Bureau of Justice Statistics says that Indiana has, on average, the second longest prison sentence per person in the United States. In the Hoosier State, an individual can expect to spend an average of 93.6 months, or 7 years, 9 months, 2 weeks, and 5 days in prison. That number was determined by looking at cases tried in the state between 2018 and 2023. The only state to rank higher was Iowa, whose average came out to 94.8 months. Sam Fritz, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:04.
Hey guys, do you want male performance in the bedroom and do you want it now? Get it in 47 seconds or less. For the first time, you can have instant male enhancement. Introducing Knox 47, the topical male enhancement that works in 47 seconds or less. Satisfaction guaranteed. Finally, after years of scientific research, our proprietary formula will allow you to perform in the bedroom like never before. Just imagine that little blue pill on steroids. No reason to settle and wait when you can get instant performance now. Forget about pills and potions that make you wait hours or up to 30 days to work. That's yesterday's news. Knox 47 is brand new. the hottest thing for men. And you don't need a prescription. Call now and get your free supply for a limited time.
To find out how to get Knox 47 for free, call now. 800-617-1621. That's 800-617-1621. Free bottles for limited time. Call 800-617-1621. That's 800-617-1621.
With traffic on the 5s at 3:05. Good afternoon, Matt Bear.
Hey, good afternoon, Harrison. Looking to westbound 70 closed right now after State Road 3. All lanes shut down. This is Henry County, Knightstown. And yeah, it's closed. And eastbound 70 struggling because of it. Backed up several miles from State Road 109 Knightstown because of this closure. And that's because of traffic diverting here at State Road 109. Also looking at northbound 65 downtown crash at Meridian Penn, blocking the left lane, and right now southbound 69 closed in Martinsville because of a crash. This is closed at Ohio Street, Artisan Avenue. Traffic sponsored by Mr. Quick Home Services. Is your AC struggling to keep up? Mr. Quick Home Services has you covered. Get $74 off any AC repair now. Trust their fast service to keep you comfortable. MrQuickHomeServices.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Mostly sunny skies today, comfortable with highs near 78. Clear and cool later tonight with lows near 59. I'm Wish TV storm tracking meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel. Can you believe these characters are weirdos? So let's rock it!
Oh boy, Hammer, big things going on at the Supreme Court. My name is Nigel. That's Jason Hammer right over there. A 6-3 ruling by the Supreme Court saying Trump does have presidential immunity for things done in the office and for the country, but no immunity for things done outside of that. Here is Fox News legal expert Jonathan Turley.
Reading through this opinion, I can't see how this doesn't induce cardiac arrest with the special counsel. The court then goes on to say that the burden, of course, is on Jack Smith. He has to show that this does not pose any intrusions into the executive branch. And the court says that that this, quote, may well hinder the president's ability to perform his constitutional functions. So here the court is imposing a very significant burden on Jack Smith when this goes back to the judge. But the court here is giving much more clear lines than some people expected. They're saying that there is a presumption here that you have to deal with. The burden is high, and the court indicates that it may view this as something that could hinder a president's authority.
Nigel, I have been waiting all day long for this.
Yes.
Because, yes, this was somewhat of a good day for Donald Trump. Not great, but pretty good. But this was a really bad day for the special prosecutor, Jack Smith. So I have been waiting for this all afternoon. Can I please get your awesome Donald Trump impression talking about what this means for Jack Smith?
Deranged prosecutor Jack Smith, completely off the rails, completely deranged, that's been overturned. So this ruling is a win for Trump.
Inject that right into my veins.
You know, this all has to do with the charges from deranged prosecutor Jack Smith. Trump tried to overturn the 2020 election, blah, 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 blah. And the Supreme Court said former presidents have absolute immunity from prosecution for their official acts and no immunity for unofficial acts. But the justices basically kicked it back down to the lower courts to figure out how that applies to Trump's specific case that we're dealing with right here, thus delaying his criminal trial even further, which means we're not going to see a trial before the election.
And if Trump wins, maybe ever, right? Because if Donald Trump wins again and they try to bring this trial up, even if he gets convicted, he's going to pardon himself. So this was a kick to the junk with a steel-toe work boot for deranged prosecutor Jack Smith. And now here's the other thing here. This does not mean that the President of the United States can have your political rival's house burned or somebody shot and claim that it's part of presidential powers? Because I see this garbage all over social media today.
It's so stupid.
This one lunatic on my timeline, it's time for Biden to take an official act and call SEAL Team 6, basically insinuating that he wants Donald Trump assassinated. That's the first place that some of these lunatic leftists go to. Well, we didn't get the decision we want. Let's see if we can kill somebody. Sweet Jesus.
Well, I mean, when you see guys like Adam Schiff, pencil neck, Adam Schiff, that little neck.
Watermelon head.
Quote, on X today, quote, today's Supreme Court decision on Donald Trump's immunity claim is far worse than anything I imagined.
Let me guess, it's going to destroy democracy. Anything the left hates, it's either something Hitler's done or it's going to destroy democracy. How many things have we gone through in the last 2.5 years that were, quote unquote, supposed to destroy democracy?
Well, the same people that told us that Donald Trump is going to destroy democracy were the same people that said Joe Biden is sharp as a tack.
Right. Oh, he's never been better.
So
great version of Biden right now. All of the things these maniacs said Donald Trump was going to do, Joe Biden's doing it. You're involved in 2 wars. Your funding, your taxpayer dollars are funding 2 wars right now. Like, you're never closer to World War III than you are right now with this situation between Hamas and Israel. Yeah. But yet everybody that doesn't know what the hell they're talking about says Donald Trump is going to get us into World War III. Speaking of not knowing what they're talking about, AOC says she's filing articles of impeachment because of the Supreme Court ruling. Now, she doesn't specifically say which Supreme Court justice she wants impeached, but she says, quote, the Supreme Court has become consumed by a corruption crisis beyond its control. Today's ruling represents an assault on American democracy.
It is.
Take a drink. It's up to Congress to defend our nation from this authoritarian capture. I intend on filing articles of impeachment upon our return.
The sitting president of the United States is trying to put his political opponent on the other side in jail and silence him and take him off ballots. What's more of a threat to democracy?
AOC threatening to impeach a Supreme Court justice. Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh, your thoughts?
I want to talk about flatulence at age 16 on a yearbook page. I'm game.
According to Axios, Nige, Joe Biden is only able to do his job as the president from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. And again, from this Axios article, this is Axios, this isn't Breitbart, this isn't Fox News. After 4 p.m., he gets tired and makes mistakes. So what do we make of this? We've got a leader of the free world, the most powerful nation in the world's largest military, but he's only able to function from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m.
Well, what if you get a crazy call at 3 a.m.? What happens then? What if, somebody bombs the UK, a huge terrorist bombing going on over there, and you get a call at 3 o'clock in the morning? They're 6 hours ahead. What happens then? I'm just throwing, you could throw out any number of hundreds of scenarios as to why you would need to wake the president up at 3 a.m. But you're saying he's only
coherent.
Yeah, coherent from 10 to 4?
I mean, again, this isn't a surprise. I don't know why we're acting like, we're shocked by this. We've known this about Joe Biden for a long time. And now you've got the New York Times calling for him to drop out, the Atlanta Journal-Constitution calling for him to drop out. The only one that wants him to stay in the race, according to the New York Times, is the good doctor, Dr. Jill.
And Hunter, of course.
I think even Hunter might have a few concerns. I don't know. I think Hunter, deep down inside, does love his dad. I think he doesn't like Dr. Jill. At least we've seen that in the evidence that was presented in his trial.
Well, the C word was invoked. Yeah.
But I do think Hunter loves his old man, and I think he hates seeing him this way. But the good doctor, Dr. Jill, this is her moment in the sun.
Yeah, they don't want to relinquish power in any way, shape, or form.
Here's Tulsi Gabbard talking about the current situation with our president.
The problem isn't that he's just old. The problem is he's insane. Only a madman would not consider a nuclear holocaust, a nuclear war, as an existential threat. He said, quote, "The only existential threat to humanity is climate change," end of quote.
The only existential threat to humanity is climate change.
Only an insane person would say this. And this exact insane person has the power to launch a nuclear weapon. How could we even consider that it would be safe to reelect this man?
That's Tulsi Gabbard putting out a video on social media. So, Nigel, with all of this heavy stuff in the news cycle, if you need a reason to drink, I've got 3 reasons for you.
Hit me.
Number 1, happy hour is back in the great state of Indiana starting today. And here in just a little bit, we're going to have our friend Candace from Hughes Culinary, which is St. Elmo, Harry and Izzy's, coming in here to talk a little bit about happy hour, but also happy 57th birthday to Pamela Anderson.
Oh, wow.
Is she the quintessential queen of the 90s?
Oh, no question.
More so than Carmen Electra or
No,
Jenny McCarthy?
Don't hold a candle to Pam Anderson. No way.
And last but not least, if you need a reason to drink tonight, happy 63rd birthday to one of the great athletes this country has ever seen. 9 out of his 10 Olympic medals are gold. Carl Lewis, 63. And here to celebrate is Carl Lewis.
Should be "Oh No."
Oh, say, can you see? And the Rockets, red flag.
Uh-oh.
I'll make up for it now.
No, you won't.
For the land of the free.
Carl Lewis doing the national anthem before a Nets and Bulls NBA game.
How old is he?
He is 63.
Oh, wow.
63. Okay. Hell, another 25 years he could run for president. Hey, Matt Baer, what's going on?
Look at the westbound 70 Henry County still closed at State Road 3 because of a semi-crash. Traffic is jammed up almost to State Road 103, and then you have a delay after that because the closure extends to Greensboro Pike. I'm using US 40 instead, and man, that has some traffic right now. Going into Knightstown right now, westbound 40, very busy and a backup of a couple miles long, so it's no good either direction that you look at, especially eastbound 70 in Henry County. That stopped before State Road 109 for several miles because of road construction. Northbound 65 out of the north split, crash at Meridian Penn that's blocking the left lane, slowing us to the north split. Traffic sponsored by Mr. Quick Home Services. Is your AC struggling to keep up? Mr. Quick Home Services has you covered. Get $74 off any AC repair now. Trust their fast service to keep you comfortable. MrQuickHomeServices.com. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Beautiful day. 75 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. We got Guy Relford coming up in a little bit. We got the crazy coupon lady. But up next, we have got some happy hour specials for you. Happy hour goes live today, and Candace from Hughes Culinary joins us to break it all down. Jump on the YouTube chat, check out the cameras. It's all going down next.
45%. Right now, you could get an upfront 45% bonus on your retirement savings and a competitive annual return that's averaged 7% a year for the past 10 years. So if you invest $100,000, you get a $45,000 bonus. Plus, you get an annual return that's averaged 7% a year for the past decade.
You'll sleep well knowing that your money is backed by one of the largest insurance companies in the world. Get all the details, all the information from Bill Demery, your retirement guy, right here in Indy. Get an upfront 45% bonus on your money and a competitive return that's averaged 7% a year for the past 10 years. Call Bill Demery right now, 317-648-5120. These rates won't last long. 317-648-5120. Bill Demery, your retirement guy. Past performance is no guarantee of future returns.
Eric was way behind on his taxes.
I owed a lot of money to the IRS, almost $15,000. I tried to make payments.
The IRS wasn't satisfied with Eric's efforts, so they came after him full force.
They're coming to put a lien and a hold on all my income, my home, my car. I was just overwhelmed at what to do.
Then Eric called Optima Tax Relief.
When Optima Tax got involved, the calls would stop, the threats would stop. It was easy like 1, 2, 3.
Optima Tax Relief is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and their team of expert tax professionals took care of Eric's problem.
I owe $15,000, and now my debt is clean. I don't owe anything.
Take Eric's advice.
If you have a tax problem, you need to call Optima Tax now.
Call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-968-9022. 800-968-9022. 800-968-9022.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Will you be the one? This summer, Shepherd Community will spend hundreds of hours with 200 kids, learning, adventuring, and experiencing life-transforming relationships. Help us make a difference for one child. For just $28, you can impact a child for one day at Shepherd. One moment, one relationship can make a difference in the life of a child. You can be the one. Visit shepherdcommunity.org/be-the-one to give today. That's shepherdcommunity.org/be-the-one.
Life's full of unexpected joys, like problems with water. That's why there's Michaelis, a crew of 24/7 experts who are rescue ready, day or night, one phone call, for a gazillion disasters. Over 3 decades of restoring your home or business to better than new condition. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Call 844-FIX-INDY. Make it Michaelis.
Hey, it's Big Joe for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, Absolute Comfort. Chris Wedekin is the owner, and he tells us why many homeowners are giving up their air conditioners for a high-efficiency heat pump.
By removing your air conditioner and replacing it with a heat pump, you are not only saving by getting a higher efficiency air conditioner, the heat pump works in reverse and saves you money in the wintertime as well.
See if a heat pump is the right move for you by going to AbsoluteComfort.org. Absolute Comfort is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
But it's happy hour drinking.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hello, I'm Nigel. That's Jason Hammer over there with a very special in-studio guest.
Boy, we have the best job in the world, don't we?
We do.
Candace is here from Hughes Culinary, which is St. Elmo, Harry and Izzy's, a number of different places.
1933, your Fisher's location, right?
HC Tavern, absolutely.
There we go. So today begins happy hour in the great state of Indiana.
There's a bunch of new laws in Indiana enacted today.
Right.
And this is a big one.
Right. I think back in 1987, happy hour was taken away from our state. Lawmakers thought it was having too many people drive intoxicated. Well, we've had quite a bit of time since then, and I think people realized that was ridiculous. So happy hour is now back. Now, Candace, tell us a little bit about what happy hour means for your business.
I mean, we love to have our guests coming in. This brings a new crowd, hopefully, that, post business day, or you're getting off a little bit early and you're like, you know what, I could really use a nice little snack and a cocktail, wait out that traffic.
It's a discounted price for just a few hours.
Correct.
On certain types of alcohol and food and things like that.
Right.
Wasn't allowed for decades in this state.
Correct. Absolutely.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong here. I believe the state regulations now for happy hour are no more than 4 hours a day and 15 hours a week max. So you guys have to be very careful in figuring out when you want to have happy hour.
Absolutely.
So take me through the process of deciding what to put on the happy hour menu, the times to do it, and those types of conversations.
Obviously, our team looked at business volume, just when we, different items that we want to really showcase with our restaurants, especially talking about the spirits that we're offering and the different discounts. We're still doing all of our nice high-end product that we carry and offer. we'll do a little discount on our wines by the glass, our draft beers, but also featuring our high-end top shelf spirits as well.
What kind of discounts are we talking about here? Because there's a good chance Nigel and I might try to sneak out of here during a commercial break and go get something.
We're looking at $5 off on hiatus tequila, Barkeep vodka, Rare Saint whiskey, and then also $5 off our wines by the glass and $3 off our draft beers.
This has kind of been a long time coming, hasn't it? This has been an issue in your industry here locally in Indiana for a number of years.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Why is it important for this law?
I think it just shows that the state of Indiana is progressing into that, working with the restaurant business, the industry, and just responsible service as well. I think that we've shown that is something that we pride ourselves on. I know 100% for our company, that's something that we know that as this process starts and we, can be responsible and still doing and having fun and welcoming our guests. But it's fun that they're letting us have an opportunity to do it again.
We're chatting with Candace of Hughes Culinary. Again, St. Elmo, Harry and Izzy's, 1933, a couple other places. You brought us a couple examples of some happy hour items here. And I think, Nigel, we'd be doing ourselves a big disservice if we didn't sample some of the items here. Okay. Candace, what do we got?
All right. Well, we've got, if you want to start with our old fashioned, we're using our Rare Saint Innovator.
Oh, I love a good old fashioned.
Got our 5-year bourbon.
You even got the little orange wedge in there.
Absolutely. You got to have the full effect of the cocktail.
What's her name? What's her name?
That's Andrea.
Andrea makes. Yeah, your assistant here. She made these cocktails. Andrea, these are killer.
Absolutely.
Wow. So Manhattan.
She's the professional.
Oh, sure. This is so good. I love this. What else we have?
And then we also brought you one of our signature cocktails called the Guava Breeze. This features our Barkeep vodka. And again, this is something that we personally bottle, this Barkeep vodka. It's absolutely delicious.
Oh, it's so good.
Nice and refreshing. So we brought you a little
Got the little mint on top of it.
Yeah.
You get the freshness taste, the whole deal. Man, this is good.
But they brought us bacon, too.
Absolutely.
Real,
not just bacon, but it's bacon covered in stuff. Now, what kind of stuff do we have on the bacon here, Candace?
I mean, what could be better than bacon and a root beer glaze?
Right.
Right.
Oh, you and I had a little piece of this during the commercial break. Nigel, if you can you show that up to the YouTube camera? Lean over there a little bit. And this is something that's on the happy hour menu?
It is. Absolutely. $5 off.
Oh, my goodness.
Are you getting that over there, Allison?
So good. So good. And there's a pizza here, it looks like from Harry and Izzy.
Yes. So we brought you our pepperoni pizza as well. Another item that is on the happy hour menu. We've got our calamari pizza, bacon. We've got great items.
Is there a limit on items you can take advantage of during happy hour, or can you just go in there and take advantage of all the stuff during the time?
So there is a happy hour menu of specific items that we're offering during the time. Obviously, unlimited amounts of those items during that time if you'd like, but there are specific items that we have on our happy hour menus.
And dine-in only.
Dine-in only, correct.
Correct. You can't be that guy. I want to get the happy hour pizza and get 40 to go.
Correct.
You can't be that guy.
It's also, our food offerings are going to be in our bar areas only. The cocktail offerings, wine, beer, everything is throughout our entire restaurants.
Man, I love this. This is awesome.
Well, what time today? Is it already going on?
Harry and Izzy Circle Center started at 3 o'clock, so you're just down the street to get started there. St. Elmo will be at 4 o'clock.
Oh,
okay.
Fishers and Northside, they started at 2 today.
Excellent. And where can somebody get a list of all the things that are available?
Our website has all that information, so you can definitely take a look at all of that. There's a little
Is it Hughes Culinary or is it St.
You can go
Elmo,
on any of our. You can go on Hughes
Okay.
Culinary, or you can pick your specific restaurant that you're interested in, and there will be a link on our websites.
Right
Excellent. Last thing, what do you recommend? Like sometimes I like to walk into a bar, talk to the bartender, talk to the staff, and say, "All right, I'm out of town. What do you recommend?"
I mean, it's July 1st. It's hot. Let's go a nice hiatus margarita and a big slab of bacon. Right?
There we go. Candace, Andrea, thank you so much for coming
Thank
in.
you.
Happy hour is here. It's back in the great state of Indiana. Check out Hughes Culinary and the restaurants they work with. They're doing it up big today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
The guys at Galaxy Concrete Coatings did such a tremendous job on my old garage floor, turned it into something brand new in just a day. And I mean, you should see before and after photos of my garage. It was totally unmaintained, faded, cracked, dirty, uneven. And my new Galaxy Concrete garage floor coating is out of this world. They also do garage basements, pool decks, any indoor, outdoor area concrete. Check out the pictures. Get a quote. GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com or give them a call, 751-9070.
Join Mark Patrick Seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed. Early bird special only $49.99. Hypnosis designed to destroy unwanted cravings. Seminars are Thursday, July 25th at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss seminar 5:30, stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. Or Saturday, July 27th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites Indianapolis Northeast in Noblesville. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m., stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Register now at markpatrickseminars.com. That's markpatrickseminars.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It's going to rain this week. Mostly clear skies, just a few clouds over the circled radar clear. Low of 59 tonight's currently 77. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:30. Severe weather is in your forecast for this week. It starts Wednesday. Damaging winds and large hail is possible.
Well, we ended up having a lot of instability. We don't have a lot of shear. Then more times than not, we end up with damaging winds as the main threat. So we can't totally rule out some hail, but I don't think we're going to see a situation where there are several reports of large hail across the area.
Randy Bowers with the National Weather Service says today and Tuesday will bring clear and comfortable weather. Former President Donald Trump's immunity case. It's going to be handled by the lower courts. Fox's Jared Halpern reports.
It's now up to lower court judges to figure out if charges brought by special counsel Jack Smith against former President Trump were official acts of the presidency or unofficial acts. In a landmark ruling, Chief Justice John Roberts says a former president has absolute immunity for actions within his constitutional authority, but there is no immunity for unofficial acts. That will likely mean additional delays in the former president's D.C. trial, which has been on hold while the immunity questions were litigated. The court's 3 liberal justices dissented. Justice Sonia Sotomayor warning the decision makes a mockery of the principle that no man is above the law. In Washington, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Every time you use your air conditioner, it's costing you more money, says Wallet Hub. A study shows Indiana ranks around the middle out of all 50 states when it comes to using a lot of power on a monthly basis.
The study was based on 8 metrics, including electricity, gas, and oil consumption, along with retail prices of each.
Diana Polk with Wallet Hub. Indiana spends about $645 on energy a month. And the average price you're paying for a gallon of gas in Indiana today, $3.57, says Gas Buddy. That's 10 cents over the national average. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:32.
It's common knowledge that after age 30, our metabolism changes. We have less energy and gain weight easier. There's a way to feel better, not in years or months, but sometimes in just days.
I'm Chuck Norris. I tried everything. Working with a team of health experts, we came up with Morning Kick. Morning Kick is a revolutionary new formula that combines all my favorite supplements into one daily drink.
Morning Kick has probiotics to help you lose weight, prebiotics for digestion, superfoods for muscles and joints, and powerful anti-aging supplements. It'll help you feel youthful, energized, and helps manage stress.
I look and feel better than I have in years.
Go to roundhouseprovisions.com, use code EASY, or text EASY to 511-511 and claim 40% off. Roundhouseprovisions.com, code EASY.
Every purchase comes with our 90-day money-back guarantee. You could be feeling these changes within just a couple of days.
Text EASY to 511-511.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Tax fees may apply.
With traffic at 3:33, what's going on, Matt Bear?
Harrison, out in Henry County, we're looking at westbound 70 closed at the Spiceland Newcastle exit right now because of a semi-crash. Traffic backed up almost to State Road 103. Those eastbound lanes are also stopped before State Road 3 because of road construction and some rubbernecking at the westbound side. We're looking at eastbound 70 again, Henry County, stopped for several miles before State Road 109. Again, that's road construction with the right lane closed. Northbound 65 coming out of the north split crash blocking the left lane, and then inbound 65 starting to slow from West Street to Meridian Penn. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th Street and River Road, or on North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Partly cloudy skies for tonight are lows in the upper 50s. Partly cloudy skies will continue into tomorrow. High temperatures checking in the mid to upper 80s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
The only way to bag a classy lady is to give her 2 tickets to the gun show.
It's Monday Gunday with the gun guy.
Just watch out for the guns. They'll get you.
Guy Relford.
Stop calling your arms guns.
Hammer and Nigel show.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is here, also joining us live in studio. The gun guy, Guy Relford. He has the Gun Guy Show Saturdays here, right here on 93 WIBC. He's a 2A attorney and licensed firearms instructor. Guy, how are you?
Man, I'm great, and thanks as always to our sponsor for Monday Gunday. That's Premier Arms in Brownsburg, with the largest selection of new, used, and historic firearms in the Midwest, and PA Jewelers located right in the store. Check them out at 3754 South Green Street in Brownsburg or premierarms.com.
So, Guy, I know you concentrate on the Second Amendment in your defense lawyer aspect in your world, but I know you know your way around the Constitution pretty much. And I'm just wondering your overall thoughts, big picture opinion on the Supreme Court saying former presidents have absolute immunity from prosecution for their official acts during the presidency, but no immunity for quote-unquote unofficial acts. Maybe if you could explain what that means and just your thoughts on the ruling today.
Well, I think generally it's a positive thing, but it was interesting because I think primarily they're just saying the law is what we always expected it to be and believed it to be. But the controversy now, and you set this up with your question, Nige, question now is what's an official act and what's an unofficial act?
And that's when they kicked it back down to the justices kicked it back down to the courts to figure that out.
And I think now you're going to have to litigate that, issue by issue, case by case. The same president may have immunity for acts A, B, and C, but not have immunity for acts, X, Y, and Z. And so it's going to be interesting to decide what really makes something an official act. If I'm in the office of the presidency of the United States, what are those things that I do that are part of my official capacity as president, and one of those things that I'm doing more or less on my own time? That's what's going to be the topic from now on out. And I don't know that ruling, a lot of people are out. I saw all these headlines this afternoon, Trump wins in the Supreme Court. Well, we'll see whether he wins, because now the whole discussion has to be, is what he's claiming immunity for an official act or not?
Either way, this probably isn't going to happen, a trial of some kind, until after the election.
Great point. Yeah. And that's right. And since he's term limited after this, it becomes less of an issue in terms of the presidency. But I think it's interesting because they defined what the conflict will be from now on, but they didn't really end the conflict.
And these lunatics that are going onto social media that are saying, well, if I were Joe Biden, I would have SEAL Team 6 torch, Mar-a-Lago and do all these things because you can do that as the president. It's a bizarre flex that's the first place you want to go to because your political rival got somewhat of a win in court.
Well, I think that's exactly right. And, one thing about the left, and you hear this often, I've heard you guys say it, I hear Tony say it all the time, is the left always overplays its hand, right?
Yes.
Whether it's winning or it's losing, it always goes to the irrational extreme, and that's exactly what you're seeing, whether it's on social media or even on the news channels right now.
All right, so let's pivot to your wheelhouse here, the Second Amendment. It was last week that the Surgeon General made gun violence a public health crisis. The Supreme Court's overturning of the Chevron defense doctrine in relentless is a huge deal for gun rights issues. We got a lot of stuff going on here, Guy. So let's start from the beginning here. Surgeon General saying gun violence is a public health crisis.
Yeah, and listen, this is something we always knew was coming. I've been predicting since before COVID and certainly during COVID, because here's what we're talking about. Here's what the government at both the federal and the state level, even the local level, figured out during COVID is if you declare an emergency, you can dramatically restrict rights in this country, and a lot of people aren't even going to resist that, and those that do, you can make a pariah out of.
I mean, just look what happened here in Indianapolis when public health officials, unelected bureaucrats, said we have a public health emergency. Next thing you know, Boss Hogsett and even Governor Holcomb are shutting people down.
Absolutely. I mean, Governor Holcomb came out at one point, was going to make it a crime to not wear a mask in public. Remember that? And then someone had to remind him of the constitutional limitations on the office of the governor, where he couldn't define a crime. But that's all in the name of what? A crisis, an emergency, right? And so what a lot of us have been looking for and expecting is exactly what the Surgeon General did here last week on Tuesday. Came out and said gun violence is a public health emergency. And all of a sudden, all the gun control groups, man, Every Town and Moms Demand and the Brady Campaign, and the Violence Policy Coalition, all these people came out and said, this is huge, this is dramatic, this is going to change the gun laws of this country, this is going to change the way we regulate guns. And a lot of people are looking at that going, what are you talking about? The Surgeon General doesn't make law, right? It's an administrative post as part of the executive branch. Why are you people so excited about that? Because they see the potential for a COVID-like model to use government regulations premised on this public health emergency to restrict constitutional rights without having to win in court, and most importantly, without having to go to legislatures.
And I think Mike Braun saw that coming, didn't he? Yeah. When Mike Braun was grilling the, at the time, Surgeon General pick from Joe Biden during his confirmation hearings, Mike Braun asked him flat out, are you going to use, gun control as some sort of public health emergency? And at the time, the Surgeon General candidate said, no, we're not going to do that.
Yeah, and I was really glad to see Senator Braun and our Republican candidate for governor in Indiana come out, and he called him on it. He posted the video, and I reposted it on X, Twitter, whatever we're calling it these days, where he showed the video of Senator Braun in that committee hearing asking then the nominee, as Surgeon General, is this what you're going to do? And no, my focus is not on that area, which I suppose his focus can change, which gives him an out. But it was clearly misleading, because I'm sure that was the plan all along. But this actually goes right along with the Supreme Court's decision just on Friday that finally, and this is a day I've been praying for a long time, it ended a 40-year rule that we had on interpretation of federal regulation and interpretation of federal law and the powers of federal agencies. There's been this thing called Chevron deference, okay, where the courts will defer to the regulatory agency when it comes to their interpretation of the statutes that empower them to take action and their own interpretation of their own regulations that they pass. And the courts say, or have said for 40 years, been around for that long, have said, well, we're supposed to defer to what the agency says, even as to the extent of its own authority. Wouldn't that be nice? I wish that worked that way in my marriage, where I get to define the extent, of my own ability.
This wasn't a very well-known case. Doesn't have a lot of teeth, not very sexy, but it's very important, correct?
It could not be more important, Nigel. And listen, I'll just spend a couple of minutes very briefly on my soapbox. That one of the biggest threats to liberty and freedom in this country has been the rise of what is called the administrative state. It's this unconstitutional fourth branch of government that our founders never intended. And that's this huge morass of federal agencies within the executive branch that are not elected. You don't get to vote for these people. I don't get to vote them out. We have no saying in any of these people.
Nobody, that's listening right now voted for Dr. Fauci or the head of the ATF.
Or the Surgeon General.
Right.
And that's exactly right. And so there's no accountability. Going back to the words of the Declaration of Independence, that governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. That means you voted for them. You vote them in, you vote them out. Nobody voted for these people in these government agencies, and they have incredible power. They have the incredible ability to affect your life and my life. They have a incredible ability to put you in jail or take your business or seize your property, and nobody elected them. And I've been screaming about this for years, and a big part of that whole process, and a big source of the power of this unconstitutional fourth branch of government is this Chevron deference, which is they get to decide. The courts will defer to them on the extent of their power, of their authority granted to them by law. And we've seen in the Second Amendment area, we've seen all these deprivations of rights, all these incursions into our rights, all passed by the ATF. Congress not involved. The pistol brace rule, the ghost guns.
Was bump stock?
Bump stocks.
Yeah.
Which was just overturned.
Yes.
And but on and on and on, it is these administrative agencies. And by the way, on the bump stock decision, they never mentioned Chevron deference at all. And I thought, because we had a Chevron deference case pending that they just ruled about on Friday. And since they never mentioned it, I said, we're getting ready to see them overturn Chevron deference. That's exactly what they did. So what they said is they said, no, we're not going to defer to these agencies anymore. The courts are going to decide what the extent of their power is, the extent of their authority delegated to them by Congress is. And that is a huge step in the right direction for cutting down on the ability of these federal agencies staffed with people that nobody voted for to just dramatically, I think, infringe freedom in this country.
Can you come back for one more break?
Always, man.
Because I want to get your thoughts on this new California gun and ammo tax.
Oh, yeah.
And I want to see if you think there's going to be a domino effect where other states do the same thing.
You betcha.
Monday Gunday, Guy Relford's with us. Come on back. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Well, you should have seen our old sidewalk and front porch. They were falling apart and needed completely replaced. And I was just going to go with like the basic, regular, generic concrete that looked the same as before. But my wife was like, no. Go to indiedecorativeconcrete.com. We were completely blown away at what they could do in terms of taking a basic sidewalk and porch and turning it into a custom stamped concrete area with even more space than I had before. It's an absolutely awesome, unique look. And I want to say something about Indie Decorative's employees as well. They invest in their finishers. They have W-2 real concrete finishers that are employed by Indie Decorative Concrete. They do not use subs. Many of the same guys out there for years. Mario Sr.'s been out there since 2009 doing his thing with Indie Decorative Concrete. Hey, in fact, our project manager was the owner's son-in-law. So whether it's a new patio, sidewalk, porch, don't do anything until you've checked out IndieDecorativeConcrete.com. My wife and I can't believe how amazing our new front porch and sidewalk looks. IndieDecorativeConcrete.com.
Hi, I'm Tom Connors. Went to Mark Patrick's hypnosis seminar February 6, 2019. Nothing worked before. Left there and never smoked again. Amazing. Easy, affordable, and guaranteed. A year later, with my wife Michelle, attended Mark Patrick's weight loss seminar. She lost 18 pounds and I lost 43 in 8 weeks.
It's true. He smoked 2 packs a day and nothing worked until Mark Patrick Hypnosis. Now we're losing weight together, eating healthy, full on half the food. Crazy. Enjoying exercising. Who would have believed Mark Patrick Hypnosis really works?
It's amazing. I can breathe again. My blood pressure went down, and I've got so much energy.
So much energy.
And look great.
Join Mark Patrick Seminars. Early bird special only $49.99. July 25th, Holiday Inn, Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss 5:30, stop smoking 8 p.m. Or July 27th, Holiday Inn Express and Suites Noblesville. Weight loss 11 a.m., stop smoking 2 p.m. Register at markpatrickseminars.com.
A diagnosis of Alzheimer's can make it a struggle to communicate with loved ones. This is Tina McIntosh, president of Joy's House and co-host of the Caregiver Crossing radio program. In a moment, I've got a tip which often helps that will be music to your ears. Don't go away.
At Cardon Senior Living Communities, you'll find our teams share a commitment to enhancing the lifestyle and well-being of the people we serve every day at every stage of life.
A growing number of studies show the power of music's role in those living with Alzheimer's. The next time a loved one seems to be tuned out, gently place headphones on them or simply turn on one of their favorite songs. Watch their eyes light up and don't be surprised if they sing along or start chatting about the tune. More tips like this are available anytime at caregivercrossingradio.org. With new weekly content created by Joy's House and distributed in partnership with Network Indiana, we're an on-air and online support group for Hoosier family caregivers. Hear conversations with experts, access a library of online education, and more at caregivercrossingradio.org.
Imagine the possibilities of getting the backyard of your dreams. Expand your living space with an Indie Decorative Concrete patio. Indie Decorative Concrete, the patio experts. Big enough to service, small enough to care.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or DrexelIN.com.
You want to listen all day to WIBC, but you don't always have time. Don't worry. There's a podcast for that. The WIBC Mashup. Daily highlights from your favorite hosts, Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey, and Hammer and Nigel. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
All right, Matt Bear, we got a beautiful day today. Tell me the roads are beautiful.
Not at all in Henry County. Looking at it, yeah, no, westbound 70 has reopened, but we are still stopped for several miles, almost back to State Road 103, and eastbound 70 is trash before State Road 3, and again before State Road 109, backed up for miles in those locations because of construction. Eastbound 70 stop and go from Belmont to the South Split. Inbound 65 stop and go from 21st to Meridian Penn. Crash on the north side, 86th Street west of Ditch Road. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146 and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
75 right now at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Guy Relford in studio with us. It's Monday Gunday with the best 2A attorney in all of America and the host of the Gun Guy Show. So, Guy, this new law in California taxes the bejesus on guns and ammo, and my fear, as a law-abiding gun owner here in Indiana, you're going to get a lot of people that see what's happening in California going, hey, that's a good idea. We can make money doing that. What do you think?
Well, you know, if you were making a list of all the reasons you would not want to live in California and all the reasons why Gavin Newsom should never, ever, ever be president of this country during this election or any other, this goes on the list because they're adding an 11% excise tax on the sale of firearms or ammunition by dealers or manufacturers within California. And this is in addition to the 10% federal excise tax that you already pay. And so you're talking about dramatically increasing the cost of firearms and ammunition.
This is like the hotel model in Vegas. Okay, I've paid my rate, but then there's an extra room tax, some sort of like hospitality tax.
Yeah, a service fee.
Service fee, and you end up paying basically double the price you were quoted.
Well, that's right. But what makes this a little different is that here you're talking about a constitutional right. Right? You're talking about someone's ability to exercise their rights under the Second Amendment. And so I think that the analogy that popped in my head anyway is a poll tax that they put on, after Reconstruction or during Reconstruction to keep poor people from voting. And, and that was found by the Supreme Court to be unconstitutional because it was a deliberate attempt to put a price on exercise of a right. And that was found as a hurdle, as a burden to exercise of a constitutional right to be unconstitutional. I fully expect this law to be challenged on exactly the same basis.
Really? So you think there's some constitutional issues with this additional tax?
It's just like a poll tax, man. If people are going to not go vote because they don't want to pay the money, people are going to not go buy a gun because the price is too high.
And it just goes to show the limits are endless for these super radical, super leftist folks to try to hamper your constitutional right. They know they can't repeal the Second Amendment, but they're going to try to tax you out of the point to where you can't buy one. They're going to try to place somebody at the head of the ATF that's going to go after businesses. And even here at a local level, you've got Boss Hogsett. He knows he can't do anything with the Second Amendment, but he's going to try to make spark on the circle. We're going to close off some of the circle. And if one of those vendors demands it be gun-free, then so be it.
Yeah, and, he didn't prevent him from passing an ordinance that, if the legislature would ever allow him to do it, would do away with constitutional carry, would ban assault weapons, et cetera, et cetera. So what you see is these Constitution-hating liberals who are constantly looking for a way around the Constitution, looking for a way around court decisions, looking for a way around the legislature. And so here you have a huge tax in California. It goes right back to the previous discussion. You have the Surgeon General declaring a public health emergency. Why? So they can use regulation to take your rights away. And, and all these different moves, they're all a way to get around the Constitution and attack people's constitutional rights. And it's a never-ending battle. That's why people like me will always have a job.
Just a couple minutes left here. I think ultimately, like the extreme gun grabbers, what is their goal? 0 firearms and 0 households? Like, honestly, I mean, we don't talk about this very much, but like one of the worst mass shootings in history was used with a handgun.
Yeah, Virginia Tech.
Virginia Tech school shootings.
Worst school shooting in history, 2 handguns.
So
That's
they're
exactly
going after
right.
assault rifles, but what's to stop them from saying, well, okay, we got assault rifles, then what about handguns? Seriously.
It's on the list, Nigel. It's really, you ask, I think, a really important question because it's a war of attrition for them. It's death by 1,000 cuts. They want us to keep whittling away at the Second Amendment until there's no Second Amendment left. And it's so funny because you'll hear from one politician, Hillary Clinton comes out and says, no one wants to come take your gun, right? And then all of a sudden we have somebody running for Congress who says, hell yes, we're going to come take your AR-15. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, when they're ever honest, they will tell you it's absolutely a war of attrition. And they're looking to take away your Second Amendment rights just one step at a time. Because listen, let's say we passed an AR ban or, assault weapon ban, quote unquote, tomorrow. Then they're going to come back and say, well, hold on, the vast majority of murders are actually committed with handguns.
Exactly.
So that wasn't enough. We got to go to the next step.
We saw that during COVID. It was never enough. Just 2 weeks to flatten the curve. That's all we're asking for. Well, 2 weeks became 4. 4 became 12. Next thing you know, kids are out of school for months up to a year in some places.
Yeah, and one thing we know that's just proven over and over and over again, not just in this country, but across the world, is when you give up an inherent right, you never give it back.
Absolutely.
It always ratchets in one direction. That's one of the reasons I started the 2A project. It's like, oh, hell no. This is as far as the bastards will go.
Where can people hire you, find information, ask you a question?
2A project.
2A project.
Yeah.
Where can they go?
You know what? For the 2A project, go to the2aproject.com with a letter 2. For me, go to relfordlaw.com.
Guy, you're the best. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Your home is your sanctuary. Get the peace of mind you deserve with a free estimate on a Generac automatic standby generator for your home from Generator Supercenter, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer. With expert installation and 24-hour monitoring, Generator Supercenter won't leave you in the dark. Financing is available. Take control of your power today with Generator Supercenter. Call 317-827-0808. Generator Supercenter of Indianapolis, 317-827-0808.
First Financial Bank. Get 4.6% APY on money market accounts and high rates on CDs. Stop into your local First Financial Bank to start growing your money today. What are you waiting for? It's easy. Take advantage of our great rates. APY equals annual percentage yield. $25,000 minimum deposit required for money market. Terms and conditions apply. Member FDIC. Visit bankatfirst.com for details.
First! I'm a grandson, a son, I'm an employee and a mentor. I'm a father to 2 beautiful kids and a husband to an amazing wife. And I have a substance use disorder. In other words, I'm living in recovery with an addiction. And now that you know, will you let it change how you see me? It's okay to see my addiction, but I want you to know it's people choosing to see me as a person that changed my life.
See the person, not just their disease. Learn more at cbeyondtheaddiction.org.
Drip. Drip. Drip.
Annoying, isn't it?
Drip.
It's even worse when it's coming from your fireplace.
Drip.
That water stain on the ceiling isn't going to fix itself. Call Chimney Solutions Indiana. Their certified technicians will make sure your fireplace is ready for reliable comfort this season. Stop the
drip.
Call the experts trusted by thousands of Indiana homeowners. Call Chimney Solutions Indiana at 317-757-6979 or go to chimneyindy.com.
Close your eyes and picture it. The warm sun on your face. The sound of waves lapping against the shore. What if I told you that feeling of summer relaxation could be yours all year round? At Howard Bailey Financial, we specialize in retirement planning that lets you embrace that summer state of mind every day. Imagine knowing that your future is secure. With our expert advisors, we'll craft a personalized retirement plan tailored to your dreams. Whether it's traveling the world or pursuing your passions, we'll ensure that your retirement is as carefree and fulfilling as a relaxing summer afternoon. Embrace a summer state of mind and text SUMMER to 888-494-5004 to download our complimentary retirement toolkit and experience your retirement planning with confidence.
This endorsement was not provided by a client of Howard Bailey. This individual was compensated for this endorsement. For more information, visit howardbailey.com/TS1.
Hey, if you love seafood and you have not been to Jay's Lobster and Fish Market in the Garage Food Hall in the Bottle Works District, downtown Indy, what are you waiting for? Of course, Jay specializes in the lobster rolls, but the crab and shrimp rolls are excellent, and I'm addicted to the lobster mac and cheese. We know Jay, and he knows seafood.
Also in the Garage Food Hall, Palavana Cubano. They've got the best Cuban food. And if you haven't had their authentic Cuban coffee, it is the real McCoy. Palavana Cubano. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Coming up in 2 minutes, shooting in the southeast side this morning and a firefighter who was hurt on the job Sunday. That's coming up after Fox News Radio from the Technology Recycler Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 4 o'clock.
A long-awaited decision. I'm Tom Graham, Fox News. The Supreme Court ruled today in Trump versus the United States, the majority finding that a former president has substantial immunity from prosecution for official acts committed while in office. The High Court sent the matter back down to a lower court. The justices did not apply the ruling to whether former President Trump is immune from prosecution over his efforts to overturn the results of the 2020 election. Fox's Shannon Bream is in Washington.
The bottom line is it does mean that this case is going to be delayed. They said, listen, you guys expedited the case to get it here. There was not sufficient fact-finding in the lower courts. We don't have the briefing, the facts, the evidence we would need to go and parse through which of these allegations amounts to an official act, what's an unofficial act. I got to say, though, about the dissents, and there were multiple of them, the majority wrote that they said it was wholly disproportionate, a complete overreaction. There's also a warning from the majority that they don't want presidents to leave office and immediately be at the mercy of a political opponent.
The 45th president reacting, sounding upbeat. Today's ruling essentially means his election interference case will be delayed for several months. Fox's Brian Yennis.
We're hearing from the former president on a Truth Social post in all caps. Big win for our Constitution and democracy. Proud to be an American after the Supreme Court came out with its opinion, essentially granting absolute immunity to those two certain acts done by the president for his core constitutional powers. And obviously now this going back to the district court in D.C., all but guaranteeing that this case will not be started or resolved by Election Day.
Trump is still scheduled to be sentenced in his New York hush money case. That's set for July 11th. A Massachusetts judge declaring a mistrial today in the murder case against Karen Reed. She's accused of murdering her police officer boyfriend and leaving his body in a snowstorm. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
They were found in a car, 75 degrees with just a few clouds downtown. No rain to worry about. Currently on your radar. Chilly tonight. Low of 59. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:02. A man was shot and killed on the southeast side this morning. Ryan Hedrick reports.
The sun hadn't even come up in the capital city when crime scene tape was going up around a neighborhood along East Minnesota Street. A man found shot to death in his car, says IMPD officer Tommy Thompson.
This specific area is not typically an area of concern. They're working slowly, trying to revitalize it. The family is on scene.
And the cops are still looking into this. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A firefighter was hurt while putting out a fire at a repair shop on the north side Sunday night.
Well, he was climbing the ladder and he got his foot caught, and it's just going to be, it looks like a minor injury at this point. We just transported him as a precaution. Everybody here is lucky they don't get hurt every day.
IFD Chief Rodney Poole says the garage they were at was completely destroyed from the fire, along with 8 cars that were in it. After being arrested, one man will need a refund on some plane tickets. Sam Fritz reports.
Police say a Lawrence pawn shop employee has been arrested for stealing guns and then selling them to pay for a vacation. Video footage shows Myron Anderson taking guns from the back room of an Easy Pawn. Anderson would later admit to stealing 12, even though there were 19 missing. He says he sold the guns to others in order to pay for a trip to Jamaica. He was charged with 12 counts of theft and faces up to 6 years in prison. prison. Investigators say he could also face federal gun trafficking charges. Sam Fritz, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Some storms Wednesday could turn severe, says Randy Bowers at the National Weather Service.
So once we get into that pattern of more thunderstorms Wednesday and even through the end of the weekend and into the weekend time frame, just to watch out for the potential for lightning. It's always a problem, the combination of people being outside and lightning.
Bowers says there is also rain in the forecast for now for the 4th of July, but he does not expect the holiday to be a complete wash. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:04.
The Indiana Derby is one of the best days of summer. It's the state's biggest horse racing event with over $1 million in total purse money on the line. This is Racing Rachel inviting you to Horseshoe Indianapolis, Saturday, July 6th for all the fun. The 30th running of the Indiana Derby has a loaded race card with 8 premier races featuring some of the nation's top 3-year-old thoroughbreds. And off track at Horseshoe Indianapolis, we've got loads of other Derby Day entertainment for fans too, like a free cigar rolling station for the first 500 people, a $1,000 hat contest, a handicapping contest, plus mega bet drawing, magic mirror selfie station, food trucks, and more. All ages are welcome, plus admission is free. So is parking. First post time is noon, and racing goes rain or shine with plenty of seating both indoors and out. So join us for the 30th Indiana Derby, July 6th at Horseshoe Indianapolis. Just off I-74 in Shelbyville. Come on out and have a day.
With traffic on the 5s at 4:05, how are the roads, Matt Bear?
Harrison in Henry County westbound 70 has reopened at State Road 3, the Knightstown Spiceland exit, and traffic is clearing out nicely there. Now, eastbound 70 is still stopped for several miles before State Road 3 because of road construction. Looking at southbound 65, stop and go 21st to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70 grinding from Belmont to the south split. Northbound 37 stopped on the south side from Epler to 465 because of road construction. And a crash on the north side. It's 86th Street west of Ditch Road. That's at Lancaster. Traffic sponsored by Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. They've teamed up with the Indiana Fever and Common Threads to provide local schools with information for nutritious meal preparation. Learn more at anthem.com/fever. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is the trade name of Anthem Insurance Companies Incorporated. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And here's the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Partly cloudy skies for tonight are lows in the upper 50s. Partly cloudy skies will continue into tomorrow. High temperatures checking in the mid to upper 80s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos? So let's rock it!
Okay, SCOTUS, Supreme Court of the United States, ruling 6-3, ex-presidents, they do have protection from prosecution for official acts while in office in this immunity case. Donald Trump, though, or any ex-president, has no immunity for quote-unquote unofficial acts. We don't know exactly what those unofficial acts are. The justices actually kicked it back down to the lower courts to figure out how that applies to Trump's specific case with deranged prosecutor Jack Smith.
Yes, there it is.
Says I tried to overturn the 2020 election. Well, the Supreme Court says otherwise.
And now that same deranged prosecutor is probably not going to have any sort of case before the presidential election.
I mean, that was his goal, right? I mean, he tried to fast track this thing to the Supreme Court so they could get it decided. And they kind of took their sweet-ass time with it, and it didn't go his way. So it backfired double here on Jack Smith.
Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh, please tell us how you came up with this decision.
We drank beer. I liked beer. Still like beer. Sometimes probably had too many beers, and sometimes other people had too many beers. We drank beer. We liked beer. Beers, some beers. Beers with friends. I liked beer. I still like beer.
They were drinking when they came up with this decision, huh?
That's the only way I can see how that weasel Roberts, Chief Justice Roberts, sided with the other judges. Because he was the one I was concerned about. Like, you never know which direction Amy Coney Barrett may go. You never know which direction Kavanaugh may go. But the one thing you can always count on is being let down by Roberts. And lo and behold, they all played ball here. 6-3 was the decision. Some new laws taking place starting today here in the great state of Indiana. We talked about happy hour a little bit earlier. Our friends from St. Elmo, Harry and Izzy's, all of the Hughes culinary restaurants came by. Happy hour is back, man, and I'm not going to lie. I'm going to take advantage of some of this stuff.
Yeah, but it's like I've lived in I lived in Texas. I lived in Austin for a couple of years, and happy hour is just it was taken for granted. It was lower beer prices between the hours of 3 and 7, 2 and 6. Come in and there's a happy hour menu that you can order off of. There's certain drinks that are cheaper. That wasn't allowed in Indiana for years and years and years. And I don't even think there's probably millennials and people that are even younger than that don't even know what happy hour, that don't have a concept of happy hour.
Happy hour is when restaurants or bars, usually the hours where they don't have their busiest time, have really good specials, so you decide to go in during times when they're kind of slow. And when I go out to Vegas, man, one of the first things I do is I look up who's got a good happy hour, because I'm walking the strip anyway, right? I'm stopping into casinos. I'm doing all the things. Flamingo used to have the best happy hour on the strip. I think they ultimately went away with it, but it was like 10-cent beers for like an hour. From 4 to 5 p.m., it was 10-cent beers. Now, that type of thing, not necessarily happening in Indy, but you got to think, with all the conventions and events and sporting events and concerts that Indy hosts, a lot of out-of-towners may be coming in and saying, you know what? We're here for the Taylor Swift concert, or we're here to watch a Colts game on Sunday. We're staying the weekend. We're going to take advantage of happy hour.
Now, what was legal was beer specials all day. So if you normally charge like $6 for a pint of Miller Lite, Tuesdays we're only charging $3.50, but that's all day.
That's how some of those college bars got away with penny beer night. Like if you ever went to college in Indiana and one of your favorite local watering holes had penny beer night or quarter beer night, it had to be for the whole day. It's a weird Indiana law.
My buddy's dad knew every bar on the west side of town. He knew when the dollar beer days were happening.
That's it, man. I'm telling you.
Go from Mondays it was somewhere on 38th Street. Tuesdays somewhere in Claremont. Wednesdays it was somewhere in Avon. He knew where all the dollar beers were happening.
And that's a dude I want to hang out with.
Yeah.
Some other laws effective as of today, July 1st in Indiana. Schools are now required to hold back third graders who fail the reading proficiency exam. So if you're a third grader and you can't read, the state now requires that you be held back for another year or until you can. Another new law here in Indiana starting today: no cell phones or electronics during instruction time in school. Instruction time is key. So whenever your teacher is at the blackboard or in front of the classroom, you are no longer allowed to have your cell phone or some sort of tablet or anything like that. It's pen, it's paper, and that's it. And I got to be honest, I know Tony Kennett and I have gone back and forth on this. I've got very mixed feelings on this, because if you want your child to feel safe, sometimes I feel like having their phone is a good thing. And my youngest, and I'm well aware he's probably the minority here, but he uses his phone to take screenshots of things that the teacher does in the classroom. So, again, I understand why the law was put in. Too many students were playing on TikTok or, whatever it is on their phone, texting their buddies and not learning anything. I understand it, but there is a downside to this as well.
I mean, just keep it in your locker, right?
But what if you want to use it for class purposes? That's the thing.
That's the caveat. Yeah, I don't know.
More laws as of today here in Indiana. Legislative oversight over higher education and faculty tenure. This is just fancy talk for the state can now see who some of these universities are giving tenure to, which is basically a job in perpetuity, And if it warrants it, and if they start teaching a bunch of woke, radical, anti-American bullcrap, then the state can step in and intervene. That's basically what that means.
Okay.
Other things effective as of today, and I think this is good. This is long overdue. A new law allows individuals over 18 but less than 21 to ring up sales of alcohol if they work at a restaurant or a hotel. Now, it should be a grocery store, too.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, what about the grocery stores?
That's not listed here, but if you've got a server at a restaurant, let's say you go over to St. Elmo or Harry and Izzy's, and the server's 20. In the past, he wasn't able to ring up your cocktail orders because of ridiculous laws in Indiana. Now he can. Now, the next stop is allowing the person at the grocery store or CVS or wherever they're working to do the same thing. There's no reason why that shouldn't be the case. And Medicaid to cover long-lasting contraceptives. Those are all the new laws effective as of today here in Indiana. Nige, we had a pretty fun event this past Saturday night with Brian Kilmeade.
It was amazing. Yeah, I got on stage. You and I got on stage with Brian Kilmeade, probably the face of Fox News. Certainly him and Jesse Waters and Greg Gutfeld. I would say
Hannity's up there.
Hannity, that's the Mount Rushmore there, probably of Fox News. But he was here giving talking about the books that he's released. Somewhat similar to A Night with WIBC, I think, but he was on the campus of Butler University, and you and I got backstage, drank a bunch of his beer, and Brian Kilmeade brought us out on stage. We got to say hi to the crowd for just a few minutes. Great night Saturday night there at the campus of Butler.
What else did you do this weekend?
I watched, the only other thing I did was we took the kids yesterday to Flick's Brew House in Carmel.
You took the kids to the brew house.
Yeah, but it's,
the state of Indiana has said you can no longer get tenure.
Flick's Brew House is a movie theater chain, and it is excellent. I love the job they do. When you want to point out somebody's qualities, and I'd like to take the time out I love the job they do at Flicks. And we took them to see Inside Out 2, which has been the number one animated movie, the number one movie in America for 3 weeks now. It's made $1 billion globally within just a few weeks, which is a record. And so that's what we did, Inside Out 2.
How was the movie?
I don't know. I fell asleep. They got those big chairs, and they got the big IPAs that they serve. And so I got an IPA before the movie started, and we're getting the kids' food, and we're getting all settled in, and they got the big, comfy, lazy boy type chairs, and I ordered another IPA, and then I was sitting next to my 10-year-old, and twice, 2 different times throughout the movie, Dad, wake up, you're snoring. Dad. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm fine.
That's a pretty strong dad power move. Get a couple beers, recline, and snore at the movie.
And then, honestly, 15 minutes later, Dad! Yeah. And it pisses me off because my wife and my daughter made a bet before the movie. Hey, how long do you think it's going to take before Dad falls asleep, And they did the over-under.
Who won?
Well, I don't think.
The under had to have cashed. The under had to have cashed in that bet, no doubt.
But I do like the job that Flicks, not being paid to say this or anything, just as a loyal customer, we take our kids there all the time.
The new Kevin Costner movie, Horizon, an American Saga, was a very distant third in the theaters.
Only made a few $1 million, $12 to $13 million. I like Kevin Costner, and I want to see the movie.
Well, Kevin Costner said in an interview that he makes movies for men.
Yes, I've heard that.
So they've tried to recut the movie trailer for this bomb to try to get some more people to go. So here's the recut trailer of Kevin Costner's Horizon, but designed for men.
In theaters now, a movie by a man, for men. Horizon, featuring spitting, shooting, fighting, close-ups of somebody squinting, horses that clank boots make on the floor of a saloon,
Did we mention shooting? And a grizzled-sounding Kevin Costner in a cowboy hat.
You and I are standing guard on one of the last great open spaces.
Horizon, rated R for manly, because spelling is for sissies.
Yeah! There it is.
My favorite is the close-up of a guy squinting.
A man that always is squinting is Matt Bear.
That's the sequel to Tombstone right there. I'm going to see that, no doubt. Eastbound 70 stop traffic, Greensboro Pike onto State Road 3 in Henry County because of construction. Then we have a crash on the north side. It's 86th Street west of... Yeah, this is going to be 86 west of Ditch at Lancaster. Southbound 65 stop and go from 21st to Meridian Pet, and eastbound 70 stop and go Harding into the South Split. Traffic sponsored by Train Heating and Cooling Systems. Train Heating and Cooling Systems are engineered to keep up with you. They run together. Visit traininfo.com to find your local independent Train dealer. It's hard to stop a train. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And follow us on social media at Hammer and Nigel. Our Facebook page is a little restricted, so you're going to have to go out and find it. Facebook.com/Hammer and Nigel. Nigel, did you post the video on our Facebook page of you heckling me when I walked outside today?
Yes, it's up there.
Good.
I happened to be outside on the third floor deck when I saw Hammer walk out of the building on the Monument Circle. I may have gotten it on tape and threw out some. You just have to go check it out at Hammer and Nigel.
Watch the video and please leave the comment, Zuckerberg sucks or Zuck sucks. The more people that leave that comment, the better. I think it helps everybody out. 74 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Is This Anything? Next.
Tony Katz here, and if you know me, you know I like my bourbon, and just like you, I like a good deal. So let me tell you about Hotel Tango Bourbon. Hotel Tango is a distillery right here in Indianapolis, started by Travis Barnes, a Marine who served 3 tours in Iraq. He wanted to craft spirits with the same discipline he learned in the Marine Corps. That's what Hotel Tango does. I've tried his bourbon. It's wonderful. It's a 4-grain bourbon with a distinct mash bill. You get a little caramel and some of that aroma. You get a nice rye kick to balance it out. I'm not the only one who thinks it's good. Wine Enthusiast gave it a 94, and it won a gold at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. It's also under $40. Did I mention that? One of the 10 best bourbons under $40, according to Wine Enthusiast. Try it for yourself. Head down to wherever you buy fine spirits and try Hotel Tango for yourself. You'll be supporting local, supporting veterans, and getting yourself a great, sippable, enjoyable bourbon at a great price. Thanks to Hotel Tango for sponsoring the show. Hotel Tango, distilled with discipline. HotelTangoDistillery.com.
Eric was way behind on his taxes.
I owed a lot of money to the IRS, almost $15,000. I tried to make payments.
The IRS wasn't satisfied with Eric's efforts, so they came after him full force.
They're coming to put a lien and a hold on all my income, my home, my car. I was just overwhelmed at what to do.
Then Eric called Optima Tax Relief.
When Optima Tax got involved, the calls would stop, the threats would stop. It was easy like, 1, 2, 3.
Optima Tax Relief is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and their team of expert tax professionals took care of Eric's problem.
I owe $15,000, and now my debt is clean. I don't owe anything.
Take Eric's advice.
If you have a tax problem, you need to call Optima Tax now.
Call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-968-9022. 800-968-9022. 800-968-9022.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Attention, Indiana homeowners. Are you tired of avoiding your wet basement? Hi, I'm Mike Smith with Swanco Crawl Space and Basement Repair, your real, local, Indiana family-owned experts. Imagine all the possibilities of a guaranteed dry basement, a cozy new family room, a home gym, or even a new office. And with no interest, no payment financing, you don't have to break the bank to do it. Make the most of your basement today. Call Swanco 317-407-1868 or SwancoLLC.com.
Guys, it's summer and time to do more outdoors. But if you're out of energy, lacking motivation, and mental focus, could be low testosterone. Low T affects millions of men and happens naturally. The solution? Testosterone replacement therapy at Low T Center. It all starts with a quick test and results are fast.
Take control of your health right now. The Low T Center is offering a free initial test. So if you're over 30, schedule a visit at lowtcenter.com today. This offer is good until July 6th. lowtcenter.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
A house or business fire is something you never want to think of. But should it happen, think fast. Think Michaelis. Over 35 years of rebuilding lives and spirits at the same time. No one comes more respected or as fast. Trust the ones the insurance companies trust. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Call 844-FIX-INDY. Make it Michaelis.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll. Hammer, how do we play Is This Anything?
I am going to run some stories by you. You will be the one that breaks down all the information and gives us a verdict. Is the story in question anything or not?
Pressure's on.
A 72-year-old man in Florida got arrested for shooting a Walmart delivery drone out of the sky because he thought it was spying on him. Here's Dennis, along with his lawyer, defending his actions.
I fired one round at it. Now they say I hit it, so I must be a good shot.
Mr. Wynn was defending his property. He felt that this drone was invading his private property. He is a homeowner.
Is that anything?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think you can just break your gun out and start firing up in the air at drones.
You mean to tell me if Guy Relford thought that he was being spied on, that thing wasn't coming down?
I think he's smarter than that with his gun responsibilities. If you're not in Russia or Ukraine and you see a drone coming your way, it's pretty safe to say that, I don't know, though. I haven't had any experience with the drone deliveries yet. Is Indiana experiencing that at all? Do you know? Have you ever had a drone delivery yet?
I have not.
You know what I mean? Like from Amazon or Walmart? Are they doing that in Indiana? At Hammer and Nigel. Yeah, you can't shoot down a drone.
But apparently you can't shoot down a Chinese spy balloon going across the country either. So where's the line here, Nige? Were you going to shoot bogeys down or not?
I don't know. But the guy, did he think his life was in danger is the question, and I don't think it was.
Is this anything? Ever since the big debate last week between Biden and Trump,
yes, there's
been a big question that the internet needs to have answered.
Okay.
Did somebody fart on that stage?
I thought you were going to say whether someone should drop out of the race or not.
Did
somebody fart?
Here's a little loop of the clip in question. I want you to listen closely here and tell me if somebody floated an air biscuit.
He never took them away. He can't because it's too much money. 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 It's too much money.
You hear it? Did you hear that little bubble sound at the end?
I'm gonna need it. It sounded pretty wet. If I'm hearing what I'm thinking I'm hearing, Landon, do it again.
He never took them away. He can't because it's too much money. 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 It's too much money.
So Trump's mic was live. Biden's was not. The podium microphone Trump was using. I don't think it'd pick up a squishy, wet fart perfectly, slightly expelled from his backside, would it?
How do we know that's Trump's mic? Maybe that was Jake Tapper or Dana Bash's fart, because their mics were hot the whole time.
I didn't think about that.
I bet Dana's got a loose one back there. Maybe that's what it sounds like.
I mean, sometimes I have like a throat gurgle sometimes when I'm on the mic. Can you go back and do it one more time?
It's too much money. It's too much money. It's too much money. It's too much money. It's too much money.
That's a Dana Bash fart. I'm going Dana Bash. Loose, oily stool fart. Dana Bash of CNN, final answer. Brett Kavanaugh, your thoughts?
I want to talk about flatulence at age 16 on a yearbook page. I'm game.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577.
Service today?
Today.
Hey, it's Big Joe for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, Absolute Comfort. Chris Wedican is the owner, and he says working for a glass house builder has made them experts at heating and cooling.
When the sun comes up on one side and sets on the other, the demand is much larger on one side at one part of the day and much larger on the other side of one part of the day. So with zoning, we can solve your issues.
Make your home absolutely comfortable by going to AbsoluteComfort.org. Absolute Comfort is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
I had changed the locks, didn't even know where she was living. And then one night she calls to say she's getting treatment. Can I drive? I almost hung up. But then I thought, that's my kid. I chose to put away the hurt and the fear and just see my girl.
Addiction is a disease. Standing by a loved one as they fight it will test your faith, patience, and sanity. But it's possible when you see the person, not just their disease. Learn more at cbeyondtheaddiction.org.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A repair shop is going to need some repairs. Mostly sunny, 75 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. All good on the radar. Low of 59 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:30. There was a fire on the north side Sunday. Ryan Hedrick reports that the garage with 8 cars inside was destroyed.
Fire crews got to the scene along Columbia Avenue Sunday around 7 o'clock to find a garage that was burning. Its roof partially collapsed.
If it had lasted much longer, we would have asked the residents to either shelter in place or we would have evacuated them depending upon the level of the smoke and the type of the smoke.
IFD Chief Rodney Poole says one of his men was hurt fighting the fire. 8 cars that were purchased from an auction were destroyed, but there's no word on a cause. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Indiana Congresswoman Victoria Spartz is being reported currently by our news gathering partners over at Wish TV. She's been charged with weapons violations out of an airport in Washington, D.C. Keep it here on WIBC and check out WIBC.com for updates there. Someone was shot and killed in the southeast side this morning near Minnesota and South Keystone Avenue.
We have emotions. We get upset. We all lose our temper sometimes. It's controlling that. We have to do better at why do we resort to a gun? It takes a life in an instant.
IMPD officer Tommy Thompson. The victim was found sitting in a car. Police have not arrested anyone yet. The Supreme Court's ruled this morning former President Donald Trump has some immunity from prosecution, delaying his trial over election interference.
The Supreme Court decision all but ensures the special prosecutor Jack Smith's January 6th election interference case will not go to trial before Election Day. It also complicates his case against the former president now that the trial judge, Tanya Chutkan, will have to decide whether the 4 criminal charges against Trump for allegedly conspiring to overturn the 2020 election can stick or whether they are immune official acts.
Fox's Brian Yennis. The Biden campaign claims the ruling makes Trump more dangerous. There's a chance for some severe storms this Wednesday.
So once we get into that pattern of more thunderstorms Wednesday and even through the end of the weekend and into the weekend time frame, just to watch out for the potential for lightning. It's always a problem, the combination of people being outside and lightning.
Randy Bowers at the National Weather Service doesn't expect the 4th of July to be completely rained out. He expects the worst of any storms to show up the day before. That's on Wednesday. And at the closing bell, the Dow was up by 50 points to 39,169. The NASDAQ rose by 146, finishing up at 17,879. The S&P 500 also up today by 14 points to 5,475. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:33.
Want to save on some of the biggest names in streaming on the network made for streaming? X marks the spot. Now through July 25th, get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for $30 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract with Wi-Fi equipment included. And for just $15 a month, add the new Stream Saver that includes Peacock, Apple TV Plus, and Netflix. All your favorites, all in one place, only from Xfinity. So go ahead and binge some shows, stream some movies, and save some money all at the same time. For more watching and less spending, X marks the spot. Switch to Xfinity, the network made for streaming, and bring on the good stuff. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Internet offer requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Currently $56 a month. Plus Wi-Fi equipment, currently $15 a month. Actual speeds vary. Stream Saver requires Xfinity Internet or TV, and price subject to change.
With traffic at 434, what's going on, Matt Bear?
Harrison and westbound 70 still stopped at State Road 3 in Henry County. That is because of construction and crash cleanup. The interstate has reopened. You still have some traffic to make your way through a couple of miles at that. And eastbound 70 also jammed Greensboro Pike over to State Road 3 because of construction. Downtown, eastbound 70 jammed up from Harding Street into the South Split. Southbound 65 stop and go 21st to Meridian Penn, and northbound 37 south side stop and go traffic from Epler up to 465. Crash north of downtown 29th at Meridian. Crash north side 86th Street west of Ditch Road. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146 and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Partly cloudy skies for tonight are lows in the upper 50s. Partly cloudy skies will continue into tomorrow. High temperatures checking in the mid to upper 80s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
The Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hammer, I think it's pretty interesting that the Democrats have kind of circled their wagons around Joe Biden. Everybody from Gavin Newsom to Obama has said ever since the debate performance, he just had a bad night, where I'm still 100% behind Joe Biden. Nobody has come out against Joe Biden. Nobody has asked him to step down. It's the media that has flipped on Joe Biden, the corporate, mainstream, liberal, progressive media that has flipped on Joe Biden. Not the Democrats, not political people in power. It's the media that has said, whoa, this guy has got to step down.
I can't believe these words are about to come out of my mouth. I really can't.
Yeah.
Maybe the media are the ones being honest right now. Because it sounds like, at least according to Tucker Carlson, the Obamas are not in on Joe Biden, despite the fact that they're putting on a happy face. Obama, Big Mike, they're walking around going, this is my happy face. Look, we're supporting Joe Biden.
Everybody has a bad debate night.
But your guy, Tucker Carlson, Nigel.
My guy, yeah.
Reporting that Jill Biden is keeping old decrepit Joe away from the Obamas because the Obamas are trying to talk him out of quitting. The Obamas, are trying to talk him into quitting, and Jill doesn't want that to happen.
That's not what Obama tweeted.
A report from the New York Times claims that Biden's family, they're the ones telling him to stay in the race. But Tucker Carlson says he's got sources that are saying, quote, Obama's tweet supporting Joe was disingenuous. In private, Obama is telling people that Joe Biden can't win, and he is therefore in favor of an open convention. It goes on to say, relations between the Obamas and the Bidens have never really been warm. At times, they've been absolutely hostile.
Well, he didn't want Biden to run in 2020.
Remember when Barack Obama said, never underestimate Joe Biden's ability to F things up. And according to this report and source from Tucker Carlson, so take this for whatever you want, quote, recently, relations have deteriorated further, mostly due to Jill Biden and Gretchen Whitmer, the governor of Michigan, she's been promoting herself aggressively to the DNC.
Boy, old lockdown Lisa. Man, she was horrible during the lockdowns. Look, I'm just looking at a post Barack Obama put out a couple nights ago. Bad debate nights happen. Trust me, I know. But this election is still a choice between someone who has fought for ordinary folks his entire life and someone who only cares about himself.
And how many times have you heard an NFL head coach talk about their struggling quarterback saying, so-and-so is our guy.
Yes.
So-and-so is our guy.
Such a great comparison.
Narrator.
Yeah.
He was benched the next week. So that's what it is right now. Barack Obama is that NFL head coach saying, so-and-so is our guy. Joe Biden is our guy, knowing damn well they're already checked out.
Okay, but, he is their guy unless he voluntarily, and when I say he, President Biden steps down.
When he's voluntold to step down, it's going to have to be from the good doctor. And I don't know if she wants to eliminate her moment in the sun.
Who would give up that power? And Hunter Biden. Hunter doesn't want him to step down either. That makes him more vulnerable to prosecutions and legalities. I don't see it at all, and I don't see an easy pathway. They're just going to have to wait till 2028 for anything to happen, I think, because of Donald Trump. After that debate, I believe Donald Trump has got this.
Boy, Gretchen Whitmer is unlikable. Holy jeez, is she unlikable? And you're right. She was disaster.
Complete hypocrite.
During COVID. Yeah. And she got busted time and time again violating her own rules. She had, I think, 2 or 3 entries into COVID hypocrisy madness when we had that tournament.
Trying to get her husband calling up, trying to get a boat or something like that. Does it help if you're the governor's husband?
Did you see this over the weekend? The Cubs were playing a game at Milwaukee against the Brewers at American Family Field.
Did they actually get a win?
1 out of 3.
Oh, okay.
They lost the series, but if you're a Cub fan, I guess you didn't get swept as the silver lining. But this was actually wild. So they have a big escalator there, similar to Lucas Oil Stadium and Gamebridge Fieldhouse. About 100 plus people were on this escalator when it just lost power and started flying down like a out-of-control roller coaster.
No.
11 people were injured. Nobody serious in this accident. One person that was there said it had an increased downward speed, causing a pileup and a big crash at the bottom. 6 people had to be taken to the hospital. Non-life-threatening injuries.
Yeah, they were piling up. Oh, wow. I'm looking. I can't find a video of it, but there's a picture of it, and people were just piling up at the bottom of this escalator.
I mean, that would be scary as hell.
Sucks.
And it was probably too much weight. If you've ever seen men from Wisconsin, they're big, fat, gross bastards, man. I went up there for Cubs and Brewers game a couple years ago, and my takeaway was, I can't believe these cute Wisconsin girls, with their ponytail through the hat, wearing Green Bay Packer jerseys.
Sure.
Are hooking up with these big, fat Chris Christie looking dudes. There's no way that this happens. Like, if I move to Wisconsin right now, I'm an 8. I am a Wisconsin 8 right now.
You're damn right.
Hit me with some damn nature, you scary.
The Hammer and Nigel Show.
Do you suppose we'll meet any wild animals?
Hey, baby, let's go out there like a bunch of crazy dogs. Have some fun.
The dingo ate your baby.
And now Hammer and Nigel proudly presents.
Damn, nature, you scary.
Lions.
And tigers. And bears.
Oh, my.
55-year-old man in Philadelphia went to the emergency room after a bee stung him directly on the eyeball.
Oh!
They yanked the stinger out of his eyeball.
Oh, no.
He had to see a specialist.
Oh.
He has recovered, and he can still see. But, Nige, can you imagine having a bee stinger in your freaking eyeball?
Connor and I watched this YouTube guy named Coyote Peterson, and his whole thing is he's an outdoorsman that goes and gets stung on purpose by every sort of insect you could think of in the Amazon. And
what's his name?
Coyote.
Coyote!
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 Coyote's coming through the border. but not in the like. It's painful to watch, but not in the eye. No.
And when they yanked the stinger out, they didn't get it all, so he had to go see a specialist.
Stop.
Specialist got it all out. Now, just today, they've released video.
No, I don't want to hear it.
And the audio of this guy being stung in the eye. I want you to listen closely. This is exactly what it sounded like.
Oh, no, not the bees! Not the bees! Ah! Oh, my eyes!
You got me.
Ah!
You got me.
Okay.
You got me. I thought we actually had the audio.
That may be the Wicker Man. I'm sorry.
The bees!
Not the bees. Coming up here next. Oh, kids, get ready. Get your pens out. Get your paper out.
Let's save some money.
The crazy coupon lady, Crystal Hammer. She's got 4th of July cookout savings to pass on to you. She is coming up next.
Community Health Network cares for your heart health. From heart scans and vascular screenings to complex heart procedures, you can count on our expert team for the highest quality cardiovascular care, when and where you need it. Your path to a healthy heart starts with knowing your risk. Schedule a heart scan or vascular screening today. Visit ecommunity.com/heart. Community Health Network. Exceptional care. Simply delivered.
Join Mark Patrick Seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed. Early bird special only $49.99. Hypnosis designed to destroy unwanted cravings. Seminars are Thursday, July 25th at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss seminar 5:30, stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. Or Saturday, July 27th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites Indianapolis Northeast in Noblesville. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m., stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Register now at markpatrickseminars.com. That's markpatrickseminars.com.
Who else is tired of searching countless websites for the perfect tee time? Rapid Tee Golf is here to revolutionize your golfing experience. Booking a tee time is a breeze now. Just one tap and I'm on my favorite course. With Rapid Tee Golf, enjoy real-time notifications and seamless bookings at the top courses. Rapid Tee Golf, tee time on your time. Visit rapidteegolf.com today and never miss out on a tee time again. Visit rapidteegolf.com now.
Join Mark Patrick Seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed. Early bird special only $49.99. Hypnosis designed to destroy unwanted cravings. Seminars are Thursday, July 25th at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss seminar 5:30, stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. Or Saturday, July 27th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites Indianapolis Northeast in Noblesville. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m., stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Register now at markpatrickseminars.com. That's markpatrickseminars.com.
Imagine the possibilities of getting the backyard of your dreams. Expand your living space with an Indy Decorative Concrete patio. Indy Decorative Concrete, the patio experts. Big enough to service, small enough to care.
Don't stress about plumbing repairs. Call LD Smith for honest advice and a free second opinion on any estimate.
LD Smith Plumbing.
A dirty, stinking honest.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or DrexelIN.com.
Downtown Indy's Fourth Fest, presented by UA Local 440 on the Indiana War Memorial Grounds, with live music, a new kid zone, and fireworks, with an amazing grand finale. Thanks to Indiana 529.
All right, Matt Bear, what's up?
Looking at southbound 65 up in Pike Township, Hammer. That is a crash at it's southbound 465 at I-65, blocking the right lane, causing stop-and-go traffic back to 71st Street. Now eastbound 70, Hendrick County completely jammed after State Road 109 to State Road 3 because of construction. Downtown inbound 65 slow, 21st to Meridian Penn, then dragging on eastbound 70 from the north split to rural. Eastbound 70 on the west side, stop-and-go after Harding to Meridian, Illinois. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th Street and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at DrexelIN.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
75 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
Aw, jeez, you guys are freaking me out.
The Hammer and Nigel Show.
Stop it.
My name is Nigel. That's Jason Hammer over there with a very special guest on the WIBC hotline.
She saves you money. She's kind of a hillbilly, but she saves you money. God love her. She is the crazy coupon lady. Crystal Hammer, how are you, dear?
I hate you so much.
I would say if Crystal's kind of a hillbilly, then Hammer is a full-blown hillbilly.
Okay.
We're keeping
I will agree with that then. Okay.
Oh, you know me. This is one of my favorite weeks of the year. 4th of July coming up this week. I love the fireworks. I love the cookouts. So let's get down to brass tacks here. If somebody is going to have a backyard cookout with friends and family and shooting fireworks off in the backyard, take me to the grocery store, woman. What can we buy?
Well, so yeah, I have to really watch my money on the food when we have our cookout because the majority of our money goes to blowing things up. So
yes, damn right it does. We love the fireworks.
So we love the fireworks. So yeah, we're going to save some money again. We're going to my favorite store, which of course is Kroger. Again, you have to have the Kroger app. You have to clip the coupons that are in the Kroger app in order to get some of these deals, okay?
Now, again, just for somebody who's listening for the first time, this is something separate than your Kroger card that you scan at checkout, right?
That is correct. But once you clip these coupons on the app, they are automatically loaded onto your card so that when you go and scan your card, you will get the discount.
Oh.
Okay?
All right.
Okay, so again, it's a cookout. So we're starting with the ground chuck. They're a 3-pound roll of hamburger. Normally runs you about $15.99 for a 3-pound roll. The weekly digital coupon that you can clip makes it $3.79 a pound, making it roughly around $11. So that saves you some money there.
Yeah.
Okay.
The next one is the Kroger brats. This one is the one I really like. A package of 4 of the Kroger brats are normally $4.99 a package. With that weekly digital coupon, you're going to get them for $2.99 a package.
Solid. Okay,
So,
We're rolling.
Right. So we got our meat. I always try to get at least a vegetable and a fruit. So my vegetable, I'm going to go with the corn on the cob. This is the one that is actually still in the husk. They are normally 60 cents each, but they are on sale 5 for $2. So I'm going to get me, at least 5 to 10. Yeah, not bad at all. The watermelon, large seedless, not the personal little size watermelons. These are the big, large watermelons, which are normally $6, which is crazy for a watermelon. With the digital coupon, you're going to actually get it for $3.99.
Okay. So we got hamburgers, we got brats, we've got corn, we've got watermelon.
The Kroger hamburger and hot dog buns, again, you can get up to 5 with that weekly digital coupon. They're normally $1.99 a package. They are actually 99 cents. So make sure you stock up on your hamburger buns and hot dog buns.
Okay.
And then I have 2 items that do not have a coupon. That is the drinks and the chips. They are on sale, all 12 packs of Cokes and Sprites, or buy 2, get 3 free. So basically you're going to spend $19.98 for 5 12 packs of drinks, making them just $3.99 a 12 pack.
Okay.
Man,
Okay.
so wait a minute. Like those 12 packs are $10 each?
Yes, they are
Man,
$9.99 each.
Isn't that so crazy? I remember when they were like $3.99 each. It's so nuts how they've increased in price. But
that's what it ends up being is $3.99 if you buy the 2 and then get the 3 free. Now you can do that You can do that deal twice, so it means you can get up to 10 12 packs for that price.
All right, so we're looking at meats. We got the hamburger, we got the brats, we got the buns, we got the watermelon, we got the corn. What are we looking at here?
Okay, real fast too. Also the chips, the Ruffles chips and the Tostinos chips and dips. They are also buy 2 get 3 free. So that's a good side dish to have. So I did a big scenario. We're roughly going to have anywhere from 10 to 15 people coming over. If I were to get 2 of the 3-pound rolls of hamburger, 5 packages of brats, 10 ears of corn, 2 large watermelons, 5 packages of the hamburger and hot dog buns, mix and match, I would get 10 of the 12 packs of drinks and 10 of the bags of chips, normally that would cost me about $250.
Jeez.
It's only going to cost me $120 with all those digital coupons.
And if somebody doesn't have that many people coming over to their backyard, let's say it's half that, between 5 to 7, then that's even less than that.
Right. It's even less than that. Again, I did the scenario for our group. And honestly, if you're just having kind of a quiet backyard gathering with a few people, they're bone-in ribeye steaks, the value packs, which usually have 3 to 4 steaks in them. They're normally about $45 a package, about $15.99 a pound. They are actually on sale with a weekly digital coupon for $7.99 a pound, making them half off. So if you're just having a quiet get-together in the back and you're okay with just spending all the money on ribeye, go for it.
So it sounds to me like to save money, there are certainly ways to do that with the crazy grocery prices, but you have to put in the work. You have to download the app. You have to do a little research.
Yeah. So basically what I do is now this week's a little different because the coupons are going to run through July 4th. So, but normally Kroger changes their coupons on Wednesdays. But this week, because of the holiday, it's going to be Thursday. But I will sit down every Wednesday and I look for the weekly digital deal coupons, and I base all my meals and everything that we need just based on those weekly digital deals. It's the only way to really save money.
Any coupons on fireworks?
I wish. Don't I wish?
This is my next question for you guys. Go ahead.
I will say that if I know your followers in the past, I've talked about the rebate app, Ibotta. Do you remember me talking about Ibotta?
Sure.
There is some really great rebates on Tyson chicken nuggets and the chicken patty sandwiches, where basically you get them buy one, get one free. And I know a lot of people have a lot of school kids that are still home for the summer, and you can do these deals the way it's set up to do it at Kroger and at Walmart, so you can get double the amount of products. So if you have Ibotta, check your accounts and look up those Tyson chicken rebates to see if you have them on your account.
Crystal, we got about 30 seconds left here. When are you going to become an official licensed bartender? Because you've been mixing up some awesome beverages at our at-home bar.
I've seen those on Facebook. Those look delicious. I'm coming over.
Man, I'm telling you, I'm thinking about it, man. It's a nice side hustle. I love it. I'm telling you, you watch that Bar Rescue all the time, and it's funny now because, they'll talk about how many counts is a 2-ounce, and I'm like, 8.
And you're doing the long pour. You're starting to get a little show time going on in the bar. I like it. All right. The crazy coupon lady, Crystal Hammer. Great stuff as always.
Thanks, guys.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Guys, it's summer and time to do more outdoors. But if you're out of energy, lacking motivation, and mental focus, could be low testosterone. Low T affects millions of men and happens naturally. The solution? Testosterone replacement therapy at Low T Center. It all starts with a quick test and results are fast.
Take control of your health right now. The Low T Center is offering a free initial test. So if you're over 30, schedule a visit at lowtcenter.com today. This offer is good until July 6th. lowtcenter.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career and they talked to me about it.
He was done in just months.
I did do it online.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at My Computer Career.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Life's full of unexpected joys, like problems with water. That's why there's Michaelis, a crew of 24/7 experts who are rescue ready, day or night, one phone call, for a gazillion disasters. Over 3 decades of restoring your home or business to better than new condition. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Call 844-FIX-INDY. Make it Michaelis.
First Financial Bank. Get 4.6% APY on money market accounts and high rates on CDs. Stop into your local First Financial Bank to start growing your money today. What are you waiting for? It's easy. Take advantage of our great rates. APY equals annual percentage yield. $25,000 minimum deposit required for money market. Terms and conditions apply. Member FDIC. Visit bankatfirst.com for details.
We all have people in our lives we interact with. Maybe it's your favorite barista, a neighbor who waves to you every morning, a coworker you grab lunch with, or maybe it's me, the hairstylist you've gone to for years. What if you learned I had a substance use disorder? Would it change how you see me? It's okay to see the addiction, but when you choose to see the person, not just their disease, it can help change someone's life. Learn more at cbeyondtheaddiction.org.
Business owners and IT professionals, what is your goal today? Protecting your data, hardware removal and recycling, or ethical landfill-free recycling? Technology Recyclers is R2, Rios, and NAID certified. 100% landfill-free. We come to your business, provide a free pickup anywhere in Indiana, pick up your e-waste, and ensure 100% data destruction. One call, easy, safe, ethical recycling, and data destruction. Visit Technology Recyclers at tech-recyclers.com or call 1-800-237-3887.
Coming up in 2 minutes, when you could be getting some rain this week. Sam Fritz reports on a man accused of stealing guns from his own workplace and how energy costs in Indiana stack up compared to other states. That's all coming up after Fox News Radio from the Technology Recyclers studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 5 o'clock.
Finally getting the ruling we're waiting for, but what now is an official act? I'm John Saucier, Fox News. The United States Supreme Court rules that former presidents do enjoy some immunity from criminal prosecution. This will likely delay a federal election interference trial for former President Donald Trump. Let's go to Washington and hear more from Fox's Jared Halpern.
It's now up to lower court judges to figure out if charges brought by special counsel Jack Smith against former President Trump were official acts of the presidency or unofficial acts. In a landmark ruling, Chief Justice John Roberts says a former president has absolute immunity for actions within his constitutional authority, but there is no immunity for unofficial acts. That will likely mean additional delays in the former president's D.C. trial, which has been on hold while the immunity questions were litigated. The court's 3 liberal justices dissented, Justice Sonia Sotomayor warning the decision makes a mockery of the principle that no man is above the law. In Washington, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Well, the former president feeling pretty good about it. He writes on Truth Social, quote, "Big win for our Constitution and democracy. Proud to be an American." And he used an exclamation point as punctuation. Well, Democrats not happy about this ruling, at least some of them. Fox's Ryan Schmelz is in Washington and giving us some of the reaction to this. Ryan?
New York Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez says she'll be filing articles of impeachment after the Supreme Court sent former President Trump's immunity case back to lower courts. Other Democrats, like Jasmine Crockett from Texas, says she's shook.
Because they literally are allowing him the ability to kill someone.
House Speaker Mike Johnson calls the move a win for President Trump and future presidents, and a, quote, defeat for President Biden's weaponized Department of Justice and Jack Smith. In Washington, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
You'll get some rain this week. Mostly sunny. 74 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. All good on your radar. Low of 59 tonight. It's going to be cold for July. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:02. Some storms Wednesday could turn severe, says Randy Bowers with the National Weather Service.
So once we get into that pattern of more thunderstorms Wednesday and even through the end of the weekend and into the weekend time frame, just to watch out for the potential for lightning. It's always a problem, the combination of people being outside and lightning.
Bowers says despite rain in the forecast for the 4th of July, he doesn't expect the holiday to be a complete wash. Indiana Congresswoman Victoria Spartz has been charged with a weapons violation at the Washington, D.C. International Airport. The Metropolitan Washington Airport's authorities, who confirmed it to Wish TV this afternoon, Spartz was charged last Friday. Exactly what happened has not been reported yet. After being arrested, one man will need to refund his plane tickets. Sam Fritz explains.
Police say a Lawrence pawn shop employee has been arrested for stealing guns and then selling them to pay for a vacation. Video footage shows Myron Anderson taking guns from the back room of an Easy Pawn. Anderson would later admit to stealing 12, even though there were 19 missing. He says he sold the guns to others in order to pay for a trip to Jamaica. He was charged with 12 counts of theft and faces up to 6 years in prison. Investigators say he could also face federal gun trafficking charges. Sam Fritz, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A firefighter was hurt while putting out a fire at a repair shop on the north side Sunday night.
Well, he was climbing the ladder and he got his foot caught, and it's just going to be, it looks like a minor injury at this point. We just transported him as a precaution. Everybody here is lucky they don't get hurt every day.
IFD Chief Rodney Poole says the garage is completely destroyed. 8 cars were burned in the fire. Hot, humid weather means you've probably cranked up your air conditioner, which is costing you money. Donnie Burgess reports on Indiana's energy costs.
When you add up electricity, natural gas, and other energy sources, Indiana is spending about $645 a month on power. That puts the Hoosier State right in the middle of all 50 states when it comes to power usage.
Wyoming ranked as most expensive, followed by North Dakota, Iowa, Montana, and Minnesota.
Diana Polk with Wallet Hub. Inflation is also beefing up your power bills. Donnie Burgess, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 5:04.
If you can't get a good night's sleep, let me ask you, are you breathing well? Because if you're snoring or waking up each night with a stuffed up nose, or frustrated with your CPAP mask, the root of your sleep problem lies in your breathing triangle. And if any one of those passages isn't working, you won't sleep well. And there's no mattress, pill, or other gimmick that can fix that. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula. A recipe for a good night's sleep starts with an open airway. Now, there are devices that can help solve snoring or sleep apnea problems. If you walk into a sleep center, know you'll walk out with a CPAP. And you might find other options elsewhere. But the simple truth is, if your nose doesn't work properly, no device will help. Only at Advent will you find every effective snoring and sleep apnea solution, along with a world-class team that can get your nose working properly again.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
With traffic on the 5s at 5:05. How are the roads, Matt Bear?
Harrison, a little bit better on the northwest side. The crash did clear southbound 465 at I-65. All lanes are now open. Traffic still jammed up. Back to West 79th Street, but that will improve. Inbound 65, stop and go traffic 29th at 2 Meridian Penn. And a slowdown on eastbound 70 out of the north, split to Rural Street, Keystone Avenue. South side, westbound 465, stop and go after Harding over to the White River. Crash north of downtown 29th at Meridian, looking in Henry County. Eastbound 70 jammed after State Road 109 Knightstown out to State Road 3 Spiceland because of construction. Traffic sponsored by Mr. Quick Home Services. Is your AC struggling to keep up? Mr. Quick Home Services has you covered. Get $74 off any AC repair now. Trust their fast service to keep you comfortable. MrQuickHomeServices.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Here's your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Partly cloudy skies for tonight are lows in the upper 50s. Partly cloudy skies will continue into tomorrow. High temperatures checking in the mid to upper 80s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it! My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there with a very special in-studio guest.
He is an attorney, he's a radio host, he's a rebel rouser. He's Abdul Hakim Shabazz. So, Abdul, we need a lawyer's perspective here.
So why'd you call me?
What do you make of the Donald Trump immunity decision, 6-3 from the Supreme Court?
I would argue that it was a complete home run for Donald Trump, but also was a total strikeout for Jack Smith, the other prosecuting attorney. I think what the court did was the court sort of split the difference, like, hey, if it's official presidential acts, you have complete immunity, provided provided those acts are within the scope of the Constitution. However, if it's a private citizen, you're doing stuff privately, it doesn't count. So right. in a nutshell, that's what the court did. Now, the tricky part is sort of that halfway in between, that if I'm the president, I'm talking to a senator, and I say, hey, do this, is that an official act as president, or am I just sort of unofficial?
And that's why the courts kicked that part back down to the lower court. The justices kicked that part down to the lower courts. Right.
Like, hey, go find out. You got to go through each one of these things and figure out, okay,
specifically,
was it official, was it governmental? And the other thing, too, which it's a long decision. And so, like, a lot of folks are just sort of dissecting and trying to figure out what it all means. So we take all that with a grain of salt. Actually, what the court also said was some of that official governmental testimony, like, say, Mike Pence, maybe some other folks, that may not be able to get in, because if the president has immunity for his official acts as president, you talk to the vice president, that's more. There's a presumption that's an official act. We talked to the VP, so they got to figure out all that stuff too.
Oh, you're talking about Mike Pence's testimony?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about? Okay.
I do think this is more of a kick in the cross to Jack Smith than it is a win for Donald Trump. I mean, it's a good day, I think, for Trump, but he's still got to deal with some other crap that might get kicked down to the lower courts. But Jack Smith's whole thing was overthrowing an election, overthrowing democracy, which sounds like you would have to do as an official act as president. And even if some lower court says, you know what, we still have a ball game here, that's not going to get heard before the upcoming election.
Oh, no, none of this will be heard before the election. The only thing that's going to be heard before the election is July 11th, when Donald Trump is sentenced in the Judge Marshall case up in New York for the hush money payments. That's the only thing that's probably going to happen before the next election.
Talk about that for a minute. I mean, what are the realistic chances that Donald Trump is sentenced to jail for something like this, a first-time offender, for a bunch of misdemeanors they had to twist themselves into a pretzel to get to change it to felony?
But at the same time, though, sometimes once you've been convicted, your behavior, we always tell people in court, if you're the defendant, don't do anything to tick off the judge, don't think to tick off the jury, just go in, be yourself, sit there, shut up, smile, and just do your thing. Donald Trump did not do that. And so his behavior sort of afterwards, with the comments made about Judge Marshall, and the judge by the way, has a lot of discretion in what the judge can send Donald Trump to. So I don't see Trump say 3 to 5 years in jail. But I would not be surprised if Judge Marshall on Monday says, Mr. Trump, you're going to spend a couple days behind bars, or probably what they'll do is probably put him under house arrest.
That's possible. Under house arrest, I couldn't imagine behind bars.
Would that eliminate his ability to campaign and go out on the road?
That's $1 million question, because what all goes under house arrest? And just imagine this. You've seen your Trump T-shirt, you've seen your Trump tie, you've seen your Trump stakes. Now try your Trump ankle bracelet.
Would that be...
That's a great marketing ploy.
And I'm telling you, his poll numbers would go up.
All the people running around wearing ankle bracelets now with Donald Trump's name on them.
Would that be election interference, Abdul? I don't know. I'm asking you as a lawyer. If you tell the guy that's the front runner in the presidential race you're not allowed to campaign, could the Trump team flip that around and say, this is election interference?
They can call it whatever it wants, but it's still, hey, you're a convicted criminal. You're a convicted felon.
But they're going to appeal the sentencing as well, right?
Yeah, but until that sentence is appealed, you're still a convicted felon until the appeal goes through, which could take potentially a year or two.
Right. So he's still a quote unquote convicted felon on the campaign trail during another debate.
Yep.
Biden can refer to him, but so it's not like once he gets sentenced next Monday, he's going straight, to handcuffs in an orange jumpsuit. They appeal that ruling, right?
They can appeal. They can do that notice to file that appeal. But usually here's your sentence. 3 months at blah blah blah. If it's house arrest, we can force them to report their sentencing tomorrow, because you're going home to Mar-a-Lago or wherever you are in New York, wherever you're going to be. However, if you're going to go do some jail time, usually they give you like a date to get all your affairs in order, unless the judge says, hey, unless you're like a violent felon, go immediately remand you to, Happy Acres Correctional Center.
And it's July 11th. That's the sentencing.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So Abdul Hakim Shabazz joining us here. You put something on social media this past weekend. You were supervising, I guess, the activity downtown, Black Expo taking place. Seemed like it was pretty smooth sailing this weekend. Didn't have a lot of nonsense.
Nope. I wasn't supervised. It's just more I observe. Because what I do is my good friend Nikki Blaine.
So you didn't supervise, you observed. That's the most lawyer bull crap anybody has said.
Well, I have no authority to arrest anybody, so I wasn't necessarily.
You were supervising the process.
Well, overseeing the process. I like to think of it. And
it wasn't always that way with Black Expo, was it?
No, in the past, like I would say about maybe like 5-6 years ago, things got really, really bad because this unsupervised teenagers just running out of control and just being ridiculous.
What did you say, unsupervised teenagers?
Yes.
Is that?
Were they buying beer at the convenience gas station? Is that why we can't have the cold beer in the convenience stores now?
Out of control
teens.
Well, that's part of the reason. But no, downtown for the past few years, everything has been pretty much fine and well. And I wanted to see what was going to happen this year because, as we've been noticing, like on a lot of Saturday nights in downtown Annapolis, once again, these teenagers been running around uncontrolled, getting into fights, shooting each other. There was none of that this weekend. There were families out there. And as I joke to say, when I see the mom and dad with their baby in the stroller, on Monument Circle at 9 o'clock at night, that's when you know, look at the white family from Fishers. That's when you know things are pretty much sort of back to normal. And actually went home early.
Back to normal, I think, is an interesting statement here because you just said, weeks before, been kind of chaotic. And we've talked about some of the problems downtown. I saw your post on social media, and the problem that I had with it was when you said, well, the people who say downtown is out of control, seems like that's a little bit over the top. Paraphrasing here. Listen, I think the truth is probably somewhere in the middle. Yeah. It's not quite Compton during the NWA days, but it's also not quite what you would see in Pleasantville either, because there are a lot of problems downtown.
Nichols on the television with the remote control, and Joan Allen in the hot tub having lighting when she pleasures herself in the tub.
Good Lord.
Correct.
Wow.
Boy, we can't stop talking about Pornhub, can we? But I saw all the comments underneath of that, and all the all your little Democrat friends, like that failed politician guy that teaches radio at Ben Davis, and all these other people, the comic book store guy, they always give me crap, say I'm a fearmonger. That's not the case, man. I live here. You know that. I have lived here my whole life. I want Indy to do well, but I think it's naive to think that just because one night of Black Expo going well, everything is fine downtown.
I think what that one night of Expo, that one night of Indiana Black Expo tells me is that it can be fine, it can be well, but we just got to you can't just. You got to put in the time and the work. And IMPD, they had a heavy police presence.
Good.
Downtown, there were police cars by the convention center. Cops were out walking around. And also, I got to give it to the kids where basically these kids were well behaved.
Sure. Absolutely. And that's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And that's my point I make all the time. This is how it's supposed to be. You're not supposed to have shootings. You're not supposed to have homeless dudes treating their body like an amusement park.
I pay my child support. Well, you're supposed to pay your child support. What credit for that for?
So I think we kind of agree on some stuff here. Like, you agree that there are some problems downtown that we need to address. And I agree that it's not quite Watts after the riots.
Yeah.
But there are some things, and it seems like it's easy fixes to do downtown that would make it a better place.
I'll give you my perspective, Abdul. My dad and his wife live downtown, and when my kids go spend the night with them, they'll take them out downtown during the day. They'll go walk around. They'll go to the Pacers, thing out there. They'll go to the Circle. But when it starts to get dark out, they come in.
Yeah,
and I told my dad, I'm like, if it's like to 10 o'clock, it's time for you guys to take the kids in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't know. Maybe that's just me being an overly protective parent.
No, because if I had small children, I'd say the thing like, hey, Mom and Dad, sure, take them out. But no, when it gets dark, use good judgment.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I have a teenager that drives, and my message to him is, man, downtown after dark on the weekends, usually nothing good happens. And you wake up in the morning, you see there was a shootout on Georgia Street.
Yeah.
Or 2 people got shot outside the Five Guys. Or these Dutch soldiers got murdered right there on the bar strip. I mean, these are the types of things that we talk about. I don't like to talk about it, but I feel like we have to do our job to bring it out there, because if not, nobody else will.
Yeah, and I definitely see your point. Like we said, it's probably somewhere in the middle. It's like any other place. It's called situational awareness. Pay attention to your surroundings. Don't be like my wife and get all tourism. Oh, like, honey, over here, pay attention, focus. So yeah, but no, I think there's a formula for downtown to work. The question is, are we willing to put in the time and the energy and the effort to do it?
You bring up those ankle monitors. I mean, Indy has more people on ankle monitors than any city, not just per capita, sheer numbers anywhere in the country.
It's crazy.
Like, I'm willing to play let's make a deal, Abdul. If you are a person who's been convicted of a victimless crime, I might not like it, but okay, let's talk about the ankle monitor. The violent repeat offender that's got a rap sheet longer than a CVS receipt, I'm sorry, needs to be behind bars.
Yes.
And I hate when I hear the people from the mayor's office and all these other places say, well, you conservative radio hosts, you want to lock everybody up. That's not the case.
Not at all.
Not the case at all.
First of all, you can't lock everybody up because there's enough jail space to lock everybody up. Number two, we need to distinguish ourselves between people we're mad at versus people we're afraid of. People we're mad at, okay. You get the ankle bracelet, you get the home detention, you get probation. People are afraid of, no, we're taking your ass to jail.
Yes.
Have a nice day.
See, and this is what I'm talking about right here. We can have a civil conversation. We can be grown-ups about this. We can go hit Nikki Blaine's when this is done, because damn it, that's what grown-ups do.
Exactly. That's why I love this man like my white brother.
Abdul, thank you.
Hey, thank you.
Matt Bear's got to look at the roads.
All right, it is westbound 70 out of downtown. Slow traffic. We see a stall on the right shoulder right now. We are slow from Meridian, Illinois, almost out to Harding Street. Crash clear on the northwest side. Still stop and go traffic. Southbound 465 from 71st down to I-65. Eastbound 465 on the north side slows before and after Michigan Road. Eastbound 465 northeast side stop and go from Westfield Boulevard to the White River. Inbound 65 to downtown stop and go after MLK to Meridian Penn. That's a crash 29th at Meridian north of downtown. And on the south side, westbound 465 stop and go traffic. Portions of stop traffic from Harding 37 over to the White River. Traffic sponsored by the Indianapolis Men's Clinic. Guys, solve your ED today with an intimacy guarantee only at the Indianapolis Men's Clinic. If you don't perform, you don't pay. Call the Indianapolis Men's Clinic at 999-9000. That's 999-9000. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
75 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
The Voice of Health Minute with Dr. Robert Prather of Holistic Integration. What benefit does chiropractic offer Parkinson's disease?
The biggest thing for Parkinson's is the upper cervical adjustment. Atlas. We do something called the Atlas orthogonal technique, which is a very specific one for Parkinson's. And getting that set, people notice an immediate change in their neurology and their function. That is absolutely critical.
You're the only, I'm going to toot your horn here, the only board certified
Atlas orthogonist.
in the state of Indiana. Yeah, and we get people from all over the country, even international, for that adjustment.
It's a very specific one. It's a 3-year postgraduate work. Very important for any type of upper motor neuron disease. It's important for everything to have that set. It is probably the most important adjustment for the Parkinson's.
The Voice of Health with Dr. Robert Prather, Sundays at 8 p.m. or anytime at thevoiceofhealthradio.com.
High five! Up top! Heck yeah!
Dave's company just got the first ever 5-year price lock guarantee from Comcast Business.
Yeah, 5 years!
It's 5 years of gig speed internet.
High five for gig speed.
5 years of advanced security.
Security win.
And 5 years of a great rate that won't change.
Our rate ain't changing.
All from the company with 99.9% network reliability.
There it is.
He hasn't given this many high fives since Deborah brought in her famous banana bread.
Woohoo!
Now he's got savings.
I'm so excited.
Yep. Dave's feeling it, but it's only for a limited time, so don't wait. Switch today and ask how to get the first ever 5-year price lock guarantee from Comcast Business. Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities. Comcast Business.
And it's hurting, but I am not stopping.
Ends 8/21/24. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge for new customers on qualifying internet bundle, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
Eric was way behind on his taxes.
I owed a lot of money to the IRS, almost $15,000. I tried to make payments.
The IRS wasn't satisfied with Eric's efforts, so they came after him full force.
They're coming to put a lien and a hold on all my income, my home, my car. I was just overwhelmed at what to do.
Then Eric called Optima Tax Relief.
When Optima Tax got involved, the calls would stop, the threats would stop. It was easy like 1, 2, 3.
Optima Tax Relief is A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, and their team of expert tax professionals took care of Eric's problem.
I owe $15,000, and now my debt is clean. I don't owe anything.
Take Eric's advice.
If you have a tax problem, you need to call Optima Tax now.
Call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-968-9022. 800-968-9022. 800-968-9022.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or DrexelIN.com.
Hammer and Nigel here, inviting you to join us as we kick off the weekend every Friday around 5:45 with Beer Sample Friday, brought to you by our friends at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Are you really okay with this?
Are you okay? Everything's gonna be okay.
Are you okay?
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm pretty far from okay.
Are you okay with this? On the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Oh, yeah!
Hammer, the BET Awards were held last night. And
Don't tell me who won because I recorded it.
Okay, I won't give it away.
Thank you.
But they had their In Memoriam segment where they honor black entertainers who have passed away over the last year. And they had O.J. Simpson's name and picture up there. Are you okay with this?
Nope. That's a negative, Ghost Rider. Not okay with this. So basically, you're wanting sympathy for a man that killed two people. And don't give me this crap. Well, he was never convicted. Let's be honest. O.J. butchered those two people, and they put him up there with names like Willie Mays and great, iconic, members of the black community who did amazing things that have passed away over the last year. So no, not okay with this. And I think what we need right now is a good, old-fashioned, classic O.J. joke from the late Norm Macdonald.
In his book, O.J. Simpson says that he would have taken a bullet or stood in front of a train for Nicole. Man, I'm going to tell you, that is some bad luck when the one guy who would have died for you kills you. That's
Man, I miss Norm Macdonald.
I do too.
One of my favorite new follows on Twitter is Norm Macdonald Joke of the Day. And each day,
I don't know what that is.
It's exactly what it is. They just post a classic Norm Macdonald joke, and I've just been in love with that Twitter feed.
Actor, comedian Martin Mull. You're familiar with Martin Mull, right?
Oh, yeah, man.
Great character actor, great comedian. Died on Thursday. The news didn't break until the weekend. He was 80 years old. Are you okay with Martin Mull and his career, and are you okay with this?
I am okay with Martin Mull and his career. I'm not okay that he died, man, because, listen, Martin Mull was never going to be the star of the movie, but he is one of those actors that I always say deliver in everything that they're in. Anytime you cast Martin Mull, he was going to deliver. He was the boss in Roseanne, did a bunch of, TV shows, Fernwood Tonight. But honestly, I think one of his most underrated performances was as Ron Richardson, Terry Garr's boss in the Michael Keaton movie, Mr. Mom.
Yes.
Just a weaselly business guy that's trying to hook up with Michael Keaton's wife. I believe this is the scene where Michael Keaton comes walking into the house with a chainsaw.
I say I'm pleased to meet you. Meet you? I'm just waiting for Carolyn. On a beer? 7 o'clock in the morning. Scotch? Not during working hours.
Come on over here, Ron. Let me show you what I'm doing. Taking advantage of some of the time off to add a whole new wing on here. I'm going to rip these walls out and, of course, rewire it.
Yeah, you're going to make it all 220?
Yeah, 220, 221, whatever it takes.
Well, you sound like a pretty handy guy.
Again, Martin Mull, man,
scene.
Again, never the star, really, but anytime you put him in a role, he was going to kill it. And there are other actors like this. Gary Cole. He's another one. Very rarely is he going to be the star, but as Bill Lumbergh, as Ricky Bobby's old pot dealing daddy, had a little cameo in Suits there for a while. Anytime you cast him in a role, he will deliver as well. All right, lot of stuff going on here, and Daisy, the lovely and talented Daisy from the Chicks on the Right program. She's going to call in next. We'll get her thoughts on the Supreme Court, the latest with Biden. Going to have a fun chat. That's coming up right after the news.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
You can't bring a gun with you to the airport. Mostly sunny, 77 degrees on the circle. No need to check the radar, no rain in sight. 59 your low. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:27. Indiana Congresswoman Victoria Spartz has been charged with a weapons violation. WIBC's Donnie Burgess has that story.
Yeah, Harrison, this is a report from our news gathering partners over at Wish TV. Congresswoman Spartz was apparently charged Friday at Dulles International Airport in Virginia. An airport spokesperson told Wish TV that Spartz received a summons to appear in court, but that's about all we know for now. No word on what happened or the specifics behind the charge. WIBC News has also reached out for comment. Donnie Burgess, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A firefighter hurt while fighting a fire at a repair garage on the north side of Indianapolis Sunday night.
Well, he was climbing the ladder and he got his foot caught, and it's just going to be, it looks like a minor injury at this point. We just transported him as a precaution. Everybody here is lucky they don't get hurt every day.
IFD Chief Rodney Poole says the garage is completely destroyed along with the 8 cars inside. Donald Trump's legal advisor, Elena Haba, expected the ruling today from the Supreme Court over his immunity.
I don't see how this case could go forward before the election.
The further delay means Trump will be free to campaign without having to worry about spending more time in a courtroom. A part of President Biden's plan to reduce student loan debts can move forward after lower courts put a hold on the program a week ago. Fox's Jared Halpern reports.
The 10th Circuit Court of Appeals is giving the okay for the Education Department to implement the SAVE plan, reducing the threshold of discretionary income used to determine how much repayment is made for student loans. 2 rulings last week blocked much of the administration's student loan plan after lawsuits were filed by Republican attorneys general in Missouri and Kansas. A ruling that bars the Education Department from forgiving student loan balances does remain in place. Republicans have argued the administration is trying to get around a Supreme Court ruling earlier this year that struck down a broad student loan forgiveness plan. In Washington, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
There are some chances for severe weather this Wednesday. Expect strong winds and maybe some hail if it shows up.
Well, we ended up having a lot of instability. We don't have a lot of shear. Then more times than not, we end up with damaging winds as the main threat. So we can't totally rule out some hail, but I don't think we're going to see a situation where there are several reports of large hail across the area.
Randy Bowers with the National Weather Service says today and Tuesday will bring clear and comfortable weather. With traffic at 5:30, here's Matt Bear.
Southside crash westbound 465 near Harding Street. Right now, the left lane is blind. Traffic is stopped from Harding over to the White River. Looking at inbound 65, stop and go. MLK 221st. Westbound 70 out of downtown slows from the south split out to West Street. Looking at the north side, eastbound 465 slow from Westfield Boulevard past Allisonville Road. And in Henry County, another crash. This one is westbound as 70 after State Road 3. Left lane is closed. Traffic is backed up for miles. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146 and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for the traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Partly cloudy skies for tonight are lows in the upper 50s. Partly cloudy skies will continue into tomorrow. High temperatures checking in the mid to upper 80s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there with a very special and lovely guest on the hotline.
She is one of the rock stars from the Chicks on the Right. The lovely, the talented Miss Daisy joins us. And the big story of the day today, the Supreme Court, 6-3. Even that Weasel Roberts played ball and ruled that Donald Trump is entitled to some presidential immunity for things in office. Outside of office, not so much. That gets kicked down to the lower courts. What do you think?
Well, I mean, it's always a toss-up with the Supreme Court, right? You just never know. You never know what Kavanaugh is going to do, what Amy Coney Barrett's going to do. But it's kind of nice that Jack Smith is being kicked in the nuts, so to speak.
The deranged prosecutor, Jack Smith, deranged.
Kicked in the crotch.
It's always a good day when that happens. And then also this whole, all the political stuff with Biden. It's nice that, that's taking a hit too. And I think that's always a good day for America when that happens. But yeah, I mean, I guess we don't really know what's going to happen between. Well, this helps, I guess, between now and the election. This helps everybody. But then we, since it goes to the states, I guess we'll find out what happens with them.
There's definitely a delay now happening. This whole thing has been delayed, being that it's kicked out of the lower courts and they got to make some decisions now. So I don't think that we see anything happening until after the election. And if Trump
it's a good day for Trump, though.
Yeah.
Good day for Trump.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And if Trump does win the presidential election, again, then there's a chance this whole Jack Smith thing gets flushed right down the old crapper.
Yep, which would be great. That would be fantastic. Yeah, but this is a day where Jack Smith is kind of being shut down, which is nice. It's always a good day when that happens.
So let's shift gears to Joe Biden here. There was an Axios article out over the weekend that states that Joe Biden is really only the president from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. because times outside of that window, he's not coherent, he's tired, he makes mistakes. We have a president of the most powerful nation in the world, Daisy, that's only coherent for a few hours in the day. I'm curious as to your thoughts.
Isn't that nuts that this is happening? But I mean, here's the thing that is perplexing to me. Like when all this happened last week and we all saw him during the debate, I'm looking at all these people who are all these people on the left who were shocked by his quote performance, end quote. And I was like, okay, welcome to the party, pal. Like we all knew this. And it makes you wonder, like, okay, are these people, were they this stupid, or are they just listening to a whole different kind of media platform? Like, I mean, it really does make you wonder, like, are they living in a whole different America than we live in? Or do we really need that big of a divorce at this point? Because, I mean, we all knew this, right? We knew that this guy had full-blown dementia and that he's only lucid for like a couple hours a day. We all know this. And I was shocked that they were shocked.
Right. The thing is, though, are they really shocked, or did they just get caught being full of crap? Because that's what I think about Joe Scarborough. Joe Scarborough, Morning Joe on MSNBC, just a couple of months ago, he was pounding the desk. Joe Biden is as good now as he's ever been. I know him. He's a great man. He's sharp. And then literally minutes after that debate, he was ready to push him off of a cliff in a wheelchair.
Totally. Like, he was literally saying in March, this is the best version of Joe Biden that he's ever seen. And like, we're 4 months past that. And yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. He's saying that this is like, we need to get rid of him. And listen, this is the conundrum that they're in. They can't just replace him. He has to go willingly. And then they're faced with being complete hypocrites now because they screeched democracy and they chose this guy. He was the choice of the people. So getting rid of him forcefully would be a giant slap in the people's face, right?
But has that ever stopped the Democratic Party from trying to achieve their goal, though, honestly? No. I mean, we heard all that diversity crap back in 2020, and they went with the oldest, pastiest, whitest guy they could find.
I totally agree with you, but you do have that race and gender issue, right? I mean, first of all, you have logistics you have in place. There are logistical issues for getting rid of this guy, but then you have the race and the gender issue because, what do you do about Kamala? I mean, she's the possible first black female president, right? We all know that she's worse than a guy with dementia. But if they shove a Gavin or like a Gretchen Whitmer in there, like the casserole queen, how do they rationalize? How do they rationalize this, you guys? I mean, they've got 11, 12 people that are on their bench, but I don't know how they do this. I honestly don't. We have been going back and forth, Mock and I on our show about what logistically this is they are in a nightmare dumpster fire state right now, the Democrat Party.
But it's interesting. The Democratic Party, the people that hold positions of power, the people in Congress, I feel like they've circled their wagons around Joe Biden, which is in stark contrast to the corporate mainstream media. Obama comes out, oh, everybody has a bad night at a debate. Then
he might not mean it, but he said it.
You compare that to the media, which is completely flipped on Joe Biden.
Yeah, they're panicking. And then, the biggest person you got to get past is Jill Biden. I mean, she is like Leonardo DiCaprio in Wolf of Wall Street. She's like, I'm not freaking leaving.
Right.
And she's not. I mean, she's digging her heels in, and you see her after the debate. Even, you see her at, the Waffle House. You see her going on stages now. She's literally become his surrogate. Like, she's the one who's talking for Joe. And she's done that, I think, all along. She's basically his babysitter, right? She's like the visiting angels person for him. But she is such an elder abuser. She and Hunter are like, we're not leaving. We're not leaving this place because we are sucking at the teats of all of these people who are supporting us. And so they have to get past her. And so I don't know how you deal with Jill Biden at this point, because she does not want to leave the White House.
Right. She is in her moment in the sun, and she doesn't want to let it ride. And you're absolutely right, Daisy. It sounds like she's the only one that wants this old goat still in there. I think Hunter has issues. The sister didn't want him to run the last time. And if this report from Tucker Carlson is right, that the Obamas right now can't stand the Bidens, the only person wanting Joe to be in the mix is the good doctor who feels like this is her moment in the sun.
Totally. She does not want to let go of the power, y'all. It's so blatantly obvious. I mean, every other woman that actually loves her husband would have never put him in this position to begin with. And so you can tell there's no love there. It's like she is so hungry for power. She wants to do everything she can to hold on to it. And it's sad, really, but it's even, more pathetic for our country.
I think what's getting lost in all this is Donald Trump and his performance at the debate. We're all talking about how Joe Biden did horribly and just lost his mind and trailed off in sentences and was mumbling and saying things that weren't making any sense. But Donald Trump had a good night himself.
I think so, too. I think Mom would disagree with me because, we went back and forth because she doesn't think that he did a very good job, because she thinks he could have probably focused more on issues, and he could have had more, snappy comebacks and things like that. But I think he did a great job. I think he did wonderful. And I think he was very measured. He was calm.
That's it.
And I love that about him. He was presidential Trump, which I appreciated. And he also looked to me like he actually felt a little sorry for Joe, which we all did,
So if you were advising Donald Trump, let's say that you, Daisy, have been tasked with talking to Donald Trump about his strategy moving forward, what would you tell him? Because it feels like, to me anyway, he's not running against Joe Biden anymore. It might be somebody else, I don't know, but I think he's defeated Biden. You're now running against the Democratic Party, and all these lunatics from the top to the bottom that love these policies, that's who you're running against. What would you tell Donald Trump?
Well, I'd run a campaign against the entire party and how hypocritical and fractured and what a complete dumpster fire they are. But moreover, I'd focus on it's not Joe that's in charge anymore. And I would focus on that. And they always scream at us for being, fascist and we're against democracy. There is a ruling class that is running this country right now. And it's not Joe Biden. I mean, Joe Biden's not running. It's Obama. And like Valerie Jarrett and all the powers that be that are basically running the country into the ground. And he's got to drive that point home because that's not what our founders intended. And so we've got to get back to what our founders wanted, and we got to get back to the Constitution. And those people they are wildly far from what the founders intended for us. And so I think that he needs to focus on that and focus on the fact that we are going off a cliff. And if we have 4 more years of this guy with dementia, there will be no America anymore.
And listen, I've said this before. If you're undecided in your vote at this point, I don't know what to tell you. I'm at a loss of words if you're undecided in the election at this point. These guys have both been the president. It's not like you don't know what they're going to bring to the table here. So that's why I'm fearful a little bit that the new shiny object that comes in, whether it's Kamala, whether it's Gavin Newsom, whether it's Big Mike, whoever it may be, that's going to just change some people's votes because let's be honest, people in this country vote for the president like it's American Idol. The newest, shiniest, loudest thing they're going to be enamored with.
Yeah, I mean, their bench sucks. Even AOC wanted someone other than Biden, many years ago, but they went with what they thought was their best option, and that is a dude with dementia, a white dude with dementia. Their bench is awful. I mean, like you said, they have Gavin, they have Big Mike, they got Whitmer, they got Buttigieg. They're spooling up Elizabeth Warren and Amy Klobuchar.
This sounds like the worst table at every wedding, Daisy. All those names you just rattled off.
Totally, you're right. It's absolutely. So I mean, their bench is pathetic. We should have this in the bag just based on policy alone. Not even take the people out of it. On policy, we should be winning this. So hopefully, Trump will be focused on policy and then what a complete dumpster fire the Democrat Party is. And I feel like we got this. If they don't cheat, we got this.
Oh, they're cheating.
Oh, that's coming down. They're going to find a way. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
I know. You're so right about it, you guys. You're so right.
ChicksOnTheRight.com, the daily podcast, all the shenanigans. That is the lovely Daisy. As always, great job, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.
All right, Nige, coming up next, a spirited round of Is It Racist?
Oh.
A little Saturday Night Live feud.
Oh, no.
That's next.
Join Mark Patrick Seminars and stop smoking now without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back.
Totally changed my life.
It's amazing. I don't have any cravings. You want to quit, but have found it impossible? This is the thing for you. I have absolutely no craving. It's the darndest thing I have ever seen in my life.
It's not for entertainment. It's for results.
Do it. It works. Period.
You've tried everything else. You need to come and try this.
Early bird special, only $49.99 guaranteed. No irritability, no cravings, because don't just cut down, but stop smoking once and for all. In addition, use hypnosis to lose all the weight and destroy unwanted cravings. Seminars Thursday, July 25th at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss seminar 5:30 p.m. Stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. Or Saturday, July 27th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites Indianapolis Northeast and Noblesville. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m. Stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com. That's markpatrickseminars.com.
Whatever happened to Tony Horton, the guy who created the revolutionary P90X?
2017, I was knocked down. A very rare type of shingles that went straight into my brain. My body was completely wasting away. I started researching everything related to building my muscle back again. That's when I learned about the potential of HMB plus vitamin D3 and what they can do when it comes to helping build new muscle.
So Tony developed high-impact protein by Power Life.
Just add 1 scoop of high-impact protein to a glass of water or your morning smoothie and enjoy the effects of that boss molecule and factory worker combination. Reshaping your body each and every day. More energy, burn more fat, and probably drop a few pounds along the way.
High-impact protein by Power Life is a tasty once-a-day powder that comes in either whey or plant protein. Go to mypowerlife.com and use code TONE to save 30%. Tony even offers a 90-day guarantee. Go to mypowerlife.com or text TONE to 511-511. Text TONE to 511-511 today. All individuals are unique. Your results can and will vary. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Tax fees may apply.
Join Mark Patrick Seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed. Early bird special only $49.99. Hypnosis designed to destroy unwanted cravings. Seminars are Thursday, July 25th at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss seminar 5:30, stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. Or Saturday, July 27th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites Indianapolis Northeast and Noblesville. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m., stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Register now at markpatrickseminars.com. That's markpatrickseminars.com.
Tune in Saturdays 9 to 1 for the Home and Garden Show for advice and fun. Brought to you by Michaelis. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it.
Attention Indy homeowners. Is your cooling system ready for the heat? Don't sweat it. Mr. Quick Home Services has you covered with their special $89 cooling tune-up offer. Imagine the possibilities of getting the backyard of your dreams. Expand your living space with an Indy Decorative Concrete patio. Indy Decorative Concrete, the patio experts. Big enough to service, small enough to care.
Never miss your favorite shows on WIBC. Get your content to go. Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey, Hammer and Nigel, Tony Kennett, The Gun Guy, Home and Garden. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Matt Bear has a look at the roads.
All right, Hammer South sign crashes. Westbound 465 in trouble here. We have a crash before Harding Street blocking 2 left lanes causing stop traffic to South Meridian, not quite to 31. And shortly after that, we will stop again from Harding Street over to the White River. That's because of a crash blocking the right lane at the White River. Looking at inbound 65, stop and go 21st to Meridian Penn. And eastbound 70 in Henry County, stop traffic Greensboro Pike out to State Road 3 because of construction. Westbound lanes crash after State Road 3, and that is blocking the left lane, stopping traffic for several miles. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors, Ford 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Centers at 146 and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
75 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
It's time to play. Is it racist?
And Hammer, if people are new to the show and aren't quite familiar with this segment, Is It Racist? Here is AOC to remind us how to play.
Is it racist? Is something racist? Yes or no?
It's very clear. Very clear. So we got a good old-fashioned, and old is the key word here, Saturday Night Live feud.
Wow.
So Eddie Murphy was one of the not original cast members, but early on in the run of Saturday Night Live. David Spade was a cast member in the 90s with Farley and Sandler and all those guys. David Spade once made a joke about Eddie Murphy being a falling star, and Eddie Murphy thinks it's racist.
Yeah, he was, it's a famous story. Like during that segment that David Spade did weekly, I don't know what it was called, like the Hollywood Minute or something like that.
Yes.
Right? They flashed Eddie Murphy's picture on the thing, and here, actually, well, I'll just play the joke here. They flashed Eddie Murphy's picture up, and this is what it sounded like.
Look, children, it's a falling star. Make a wish.
It's a picture of Eddie Murphy.
Yes, that's right. You make a Hollywood Minute omelet, you break some eggs.
And the legend has it after the show, like Eddie Murphy called him and chewed him out.
Right. Because Eddie Murphy's argument, and he puts this in some new interview that he did with the New York Times, was that that joke had to be approved by the producers and the directors and Lauren Michaels, and Eddie thought that was a slap in the face considering SNL was a show that he helped build.
So why is this a racist segment?
I have no idea. So I'm going to say that it's not racist. Is it a joke that maybe Spade shouldn't have made, considering it's part of the SNL family? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know, but I don't think it was racist.
So you're saying Eddie Murphy sat down with the New York Times and said that bit with David Spade had racist intent.
Yes.
But he never explains why or how.
Correct. And he said that he's cool with Spade now, and he's cool with SNL, and he went back and hosted a couple years ago.
Yeah.
But, yeah, seemed like he was grasping at straws for the whole race angle on that.
Real quick, you going to be watching the new Beverly Hills Cop Axel on Netflix when it drops here in a couple days? I am. I'm excited.
I don't know.
Come on, man.
I've been burned by that before.
Yeah.
I sat down and watched the Coming to America sequel that Eddie Murphy did that went straight to Netflix, and boy, was it bad. Don't go anywhere. More on a big day at the Supreme Court and some other stuff next.
Close your eyes and picture it. The warm sun on your face. The sound of waves lapping against the shore. What if I told you that feeling of summer relaxation could be yours all year round?